Hello and welcome to High Rollers. What? What are you complaining about?
Tom's just like posing as if...
I'm waiting for the camera to go to me and I'm staying in this position until then.
Yeah, like he...
There you go.
He thinks it's going to
It's on you now.
There you go. Carry on.
Welcome to High Rollers. I'm your Dungeon Master, Mark Sherlock Humes. We are joined by 4 players this week, one of whom is on his way here. He's literally rushing to us from the airport.
Busy man.
He's a busy man. We have with us, I'm going to switch over to this side, which is the Rhiannon side. There we go. We have Rhiannon.
Hello, guys.
We have Tom.
Hello.
On the other side, we have Kim, and we will have a Chris Trott eventually when he gets here. But there's a couple of things to go through before then, and we'll just play. He'll run in and he'll jump in when he's free.
He's going to stink, isn't he?
He is going to stink. He's going to have that nice, plain, sweaty rush smell. Welcome. First things first, big thank you to our 2 major sponsors. The first one of which is D&D Beyond. D&D Beyond is the official Dungeons & Dragons digital toolset. We all use it. We've got iPads. We're running character sheets off it. It's got a brand new character sheet for the character builder. There's also loads of cool features that you can use. DMs, if you've got access to it, you can create campaigns. You can have your players create characters in those campaigns. And then you can do what I do, which is go in and make sure that they're all adding in their items and stuff correctly. Thank you for pointing those out, Tom Hazel. So you can do that. You can check those out. They've just also added a bunch of new stuff, including the Eberron Wayfinder's Guide, which is really, really cool. Check that out. And then our second sponsor is the wonderful Brilliant.org. Brilliant is math and science done right. It helps you develop logical reasoning and critical thinking skills to become a better problem solver. We're going to do things slightly different today. Kim is going to give you the puzzle now. This is one of Brilliant's puzzles, which Kim has reskinned for Dungeons & Dragons. And you can check out the link below. You get 20% off an annual subscription. I forgot to mention that for D&D Beyond as well. D&D Beyond, you get 25% off digital purchases. So if you go to and use the link and use the code HIGHROLLING...
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
I've not
All
got
caps.
my sponsorship details here.
All caps, high rolling.
Almost forgot about it. All caps, high rolling. Use that code. You get 25% off digital purchases. That's really well timed. It makes it sound epic. And then with Brilliant, if you go to the link and sign up for an annual subscription, you get 20% off as well.
Yes.
You can check that out. And then Kim is going to give you a puzzle, fresh from the pages of Brilliant.org.
Okay, this puzzle is called False Information.
Brilliant.
Ready? Okay.
Get it? Brilliant.
Shut
Carry
up.
on.
The tomb is dark, damp, and full of terrors. You've managed to come this far, encountering only rats and misguided skeletons. Your supplies are running low, but you know you're close to finding the treasure chamber. You can feel it. In fact, what's that in front of you? You lift your torch high and curiously step forward. There, on a stone plinth, covered in dust and cobwebs, stands a stoppered flask. Inside, a dull liquid shimmers in your torchlight. You spot the runes carved into the plinth, and drawing on your knowledge of the Elvish tongue, you read what it says. It is untrue that this is not poison. Thinking back, you remember that the wizened elf that guarded the entrance to this tomb and what he said. Every sign in this wretched place is false, he warned, before cackling to himself. With your meager knowledge of alchemy and magic, you figure that this is indeed either a potion of poison or invisibility. In the distance, you hear the shuffling of undead feet, signaling that it's time to run. Staring hard at the sign, you must decide what is in the flask. So the key bits of information there is that the sign on the flask says, "It is untrue that this is not poison." And you were warned that every sign in this place is false. So is it a flask of poison or is it a flask of invisibility?
There you go.
I will drink it anyway. I don't know
Well,
if
That's
right.
not part of the puzzle.
We can find out at the end of the episode if Tom is dead or not.
Oh, okay.
We'll find that out. So we'll reveal the solution at the end of Le Puzzle.
High risk, high reward.
End of the stream, indeed. A couple of other things. He's here. He's ready.
Hey.
Here he
He's
is.
knackered. You just run up the stairs.
With luggage.
The lifts
as well.
are broken. The lifts
We're
are broken.
still in the intro. We've not done the video yet. Well,
Yeah.
I think that we don't have any merch or anything to talk about. I don't think there's anything else going on.
Fan art?
Fan art? Do we have a fan art video?
We don't have.
Yeah, I figured so, because Trot's not been here. But if you do have amazing fan art, there will be hopefully a fan art video next week.
Yep.
And you can submit that fan art to Tom. What's the email?
highrollersdnd@gmail.com.
There you
so
go.
if you send it there, it basically gives us permission.
It guarantees
to use
it
in the
that it
video.
can be used in the video. Yes.
And the
Really
stream.
good stuff this week. Send it over to Gmail. Get in the video.
Yeah, get
Why
the
do you
video.
stink of planes? Ugh.
And to give Chris Trot a small breather, let's play the Aerois intro video. Go.
You can read my notes if you want.
Hello.
Hello.
Oh, okay.
That was a sharp, sudden jump back in. Chris Trot was just asking if he can get a quick recap, which is what he's going to get now.
I listened to the podcast on Spotify, but I only got through part 1.
There we go. So we didn't get to part 2.
Nice.
Well,
Great intros, right?
what great intros
Perfect.
for
Really
the
good in-
podcast,
That's what
which has
someone
started
told me.
now.
Yeah.
Is it narcissism if we listen to it? Because we're just listening to ourselves.
I listen to them. They're great
I
podcasts.
had to listen to it to know what the fuck was going on. Guys got up to you and someone took my voice.
This entire thing's getting cut from the episode.
I
by
did
the way.
steal your voice. Yeah, sure.
Oh, yeah, of
absolutely.
The
course.
podcast
Yeah, okay.
starts now.
So,
I forgot you weren't
welcome to High Rollers Podcast.
Tim was talking. Do it again.
Welcome to the High Rollers Podcast. We're back. This is a small recap for what happened last week for Chris Trot's benefit as much as anybody else's. The party, having crashed in the Bitterwood aboard an airship, had slowly made their way through dangerous terrain across what they revealed to be the continent of Suvona. Making their way north, they encountered various wilderness, various horrors and combat encounters along the way, also passing by a large chasm, which the party investigated and found contained the ruins of a place called Dwalendel, an old dwarven town said to be full of wealth and riches that had fallen during the Great Sundering, an event which had basically kind of caused cataclysms and the land to be disrupted all across Aerois. You carried on your journey, deciding not to investigate the ruin before you settled down and had time to recuperate. You fought some creatures along the road, but eventually you made your way to a town called Rose Hall. Rose Hall appears to be a small town, more closer to a village, but it's slightly larger than your kind of typical hamlet. And the town appears to be full of friendly local folks of Suvona. You were warned not to cause trouble in the town by the Harvest Guard, which acts as the kind of local police force. Inside, you located an inn called the Brazen Heart, run by a halfling woman by the name of Rosalina, who was very friendly and welcoming. You had secured rooms for yourselves, as well as a meal, courtesy of Lucius.
Thank you.
Paid
Thanks.
for food and drinks for everyone.
Very generous.
As if Lucius would have absolutely have done that.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Had cushions. So
Thanks to a very remarkable sound-alike for Chris Trot last week.
Very,
I mean,
very.
it was-
my
Arguably,
goodness.
arguably better.
Yeah, you will be, because you are him.
No, I mean, you're one.
Oh, I see. Well,
Buttering up the DM.
Yeah, that's good.
Nice.
He's reminded you to add your second level spell. That's your reward. Because you didn't do it last week. The party is now level 3, and you had investigated into town the option of healing Arvel Dagos, this dwarven friend that you'd taken with you from the ship.
Dagos?
Dagos. Arvel
didn't know
Dagos. Well, you know him as Arvel. This is recap knowledge. This isn't in-character knowledge.
I'm not writing it down.
he's got my notebook.
You investigated the cost of getting his leg and injuries healed, and you went up to the Temple of Palador, where a dwarven priest told you it would cost 300 gold for the various reagents and things that are needed to fuel the spell. Inquiring about work, you spoke with someone called the field warden, who appears to be sort of like the mayor or the person in charge of the town, a man called Merrick Tallfellow, who told you that there was a couple of jobs that he had around the town, and that you could come and speak to him in the morning for more details. And that is where we left things last week.
Yeah.
What did Lucius say about these jobs?
Not a lot.
I didn't say anything as Lucius, so you can express your own opinion on that. The only thing Lucius really did was he was very kind and paid for food for everybody, which is 3.5 gold to mark down.
Cheers, please.
He bought a room for himself, which is included in that 3.5 gold. So you have a single room to yourself.
With a bathtub.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, and what were the side quests? Or say side quests.
So one,
Well, I'm going to check my quest log.
I literally have written it in a different colour so it stands out as a side quest.
what were the quests again? I almost did it again. What were the quests?
They're not quests.
What were
they're
the
just
missions
the
that you were
jobs
given?
that, well, he said that there were 2 options that if you wanted to earn some money, he was offering 200 gold for each task.
Yeah.
One was to investigate wagons, trade wagons that had been going missing on the northern road from Gold Throne. And then the other one was to check out some earthen tunnels on a farm to the east and some missing cattle, which was probably a thing which I didn't specify last time.
Yeah.
But I'm adding now.
No, I think you did.
Yeah.
Missing cattle, yeah.
And there was another option where, like, if we got pixie dust and dust and winter elegrantes for Rosalina.
Yes, she had some healing potions and a trinket that she could offer in return.
But that was just things we can pick up on our travels, I suppose.
Yes, she hinted that there is an old elven palace right by the lake, which is several miles north of the town, that is known for having monsters or creatures, but being an elven fey palace, it probably would have some of these things.
Yeah.
It was kind of hinted that you might be able to find them there, or if you just pick them up on your travels in general.
Yeah. Okay.
Cool beans.
Sweet. So, I guess carry on. Sorry.
No, that's it. I've finished my recap.
Yeah, we literally didn't decide what to do.
No. Last thing is we were told that we could use the back entrance to.
Yes, so
yeah.
I'm assuming that you basically follow Merrick through his home. It's like a corridor basically that leads to a back door. He opens it and lets you out. You had spotted there were 4 rough-looking fellows that were watching you as you were exploring the town. And you've been warned that there is a family called the Brookstone family that are somewhat trouble.
They don't take
in the
kindly
town.
to those
They don't
wild
take.
elves.
They don't take kindly to strange folk around here.
Specifically wild elves.
Just yeah. I mean, they do. The whole town is like that though. The whole town has had a problem with
has been
wild
good.
elves. So far,
She's been nice enough.
Well behaved.
yeah.
We're
I imagine
strange.
she will be more well behaved today.
I think honestly, Nova's been the least behaved.
What?
Flirting with a man.
What?
What?
I thought the field warden was single. It turns out he has a family.
There's a wife and a kid.
Kind of awkward. He was literally having dinner with his family.
Whilst Nova is at the door, like, oh, hello.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Sentry's just rubbing her face over a warm plate.
Yeah.
That was the other thing you missed, yeah. So we fade back into the action of you are all kind of escorted through and kind of shown to this back entrance, which leads into a small, like, vegetable garden.
Nice.
With like a little wooden fence and a little wooden gate. And Merrick basically just turns to you. Excuse me. Merrick just turns to you and is just like, come by and find me in the morning and I can give you further details if you need them. But if you're looking for work, then that's certainly what I can offer. And I'll see you in the morning. And then he just shuts the door basically.
Oh. Okay.
It's awful words.
He's literally having dinner.
Wow.
Terrible words, isn't it? W word. Ugh.
What?
Which one?
Work.
Work?
Terrible.
Have you never worked?
Well, yes, I work.
Where?
I work out.
Right. Have you ever had a job? A job? For money?
Where are we going?
Ayla just rolls her eyes.
What time is it?
So it's late evening.
Okay.
The sun has set. You're at the Temple of Palador as the sun was setting.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So the night sky is beginning to, you're in that period between like dusk and proper night where the sky is that kind of very dark, kind of crimson-y grey. The stars are beginning to shine, but it's still just that touch of daylight is still lingering over the world.
Around the town, or sorry, village, town, whatever.
Village town. It's kind of like, yeah, it's like a very, very small, quaint town.
Yeah. Are the harvest guard moving people around like as some sort of curfew, or is it like?
No, there's no curfew. Most people seem to be heading inside. In fact, most of the places you look, there is nobody really out on the streets. People are either at home or at a tavern or still working in general. The Harvest Guard, there isn't a large number of them. You saw like about 4 of them at the main gate, and you've probably only spotted like 2 or 3 wandering about inside. Most of them either have some sort of animal with them, like a dog or a boar, or a bird of prey. Some of them carry like falcons and things like that. But some of them also just seem to be like, they almost blend in with the people of the town. They look like farmers with scraps of leather and metal for armor and kind of farmers' tools for weapons rather than swords and shields. But they all have this like tabard or a tunic with this symbol of basically a pumpkin with like a scythe behind it, basically.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. And the Merrick, he had like a big eagle hawk.
Yeah, on his house, on the roof of his house, which is still there, but it is on the opposite side.
But it's not squawking? Do they squawk?
No, yeah.
Not howling, is it?
It doesn't howl. It kind of, it has like an alert noise, a squawk. But it did that when you approached, but it hasn't made the same noise since.
Like a doorbell.
So we're not worried about the people coming closer to this house, at least. That's something.
So yeah, so that's what you see, the chill night air. It is currently the very beginning of the long night, which is this 3-month period or 3-cycle period of cold weather after harvest, where people generally kind of get, comfy at home and try and wait out like the colder weather. But yeah, so there's a chill in the air.
Ugh.
The others have all been left at the tavern, so it is just the 5 of you.
Yeah.
Should we head back to the tavern, maybe, and get some rest?
It's not too far.
Yes.
Yeah,
We don't need to worry
Yes.
about those guys
Yeah.
if we get there quickly, at least.
that's it. Hurry back. Walk back swiftly.
Okay.
Get some rest.
Have we got like a hood or something for Ayla?
Oh yeah, that might be a good
I
idea.
think Aerois has sort of like a cloak that she can put up.
We picked up furs and stuff.
That's true.
Yeah.
Quick, wear this squirrel tail in your head, Ayla.
She just narrows her eyes at you. I'll be fine.
Okay, fair enough.
If they want to start trouble with me, then that's up to them.
It's more, I don't want to start trouble with them, not the other way around. I don't want to be known as people that just come into a town and start attacking people, even if we are attacked first.
She just shrugs.
Brilliant. Well, fine. I guess back to the tavern. We'll have some sleep, and then we'll come back to Merrick and figure out some details of the jobs, the work.
Oh. Stop saying it.
Okay. Well, jobs then. Is that good?
No, I don't know. What does that mean?
It's an exchange of services.
I'm joking.
For
Of course I know what it means. I'm educated. Anyway. Tavern.
Let's head back then.
Okay. So you guys are going to try and cut through the garden and make your way back to the tavern now. Are you
Yeah.
trying to move quickly, or are you trying to remain undetected by these group
I think,
that had spotted you?
I mean, quickly sounds good. It wasn't too far, was it? It wasn't like...
It's not a huge town.
I think unless someone explicitly says to Nova, she's literally just going to be walking slowly, looking up at the stars, trying to look at all the constellations.
Great. And then we'll go at that speed then.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you make your way back to the tavern, moving
What?
with some degree of haste, but occasionally kind of having to kind of hustle Nova along, or kind
Well, I'm
of,
just telling you about what that one is.
she's kind of like she'll drift behind. Somebody has to come back and like drag her forward and things like that. Same with Lucius as he gets distracted. You catch sight that you spot the same 4 following you. But they don't kind of try and engage you. They're just kind of following you and kind of keeping an eye on you. When you make your way clearly towards the Brazen Heart, they kind of back off. They just kind of see that you're going in there, kind of give it a glance, and then they kind of meld back into the shadows. Begin stalking off towards the far edge of the city, adjacent to the Iron Weald, which is like a large forest on the side of the town.
Oh, the other side of the river.
No, the town is on one side of the river. The Ironweald is kind of on its far western side.
Oh, okay.
The river is to its east.
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
And then north leads to Gold Throne.
Yeah.
You head on over. And the Brazen Heart, this very quaint tavern, it's kind of stone foundations with like very well-kept timbers, a thatched roof. There are flower boxes underneath the windows. The door is painted with like very delicate-looking flowers. It's very, very homely and nice. And inside it is bustling with activity. You can see that it feels almost like the whole town might be in here, or at least a large portion of it. The bar is completely full. All of the booths are full, and people are basically gathering around, drinking, smiling, chatting, joking. Conversation that you overhear is mainly about the workday. People kind of like looking forward to kind of spending time with their families. A few people are worried about if they've got enough supplies to last the long night. And generally kind of that kind of gossip and village chatter. Some people talking about all those Brookstone scores in trouble again, and kind of like hinting at different things. Have you seen those strangers in town? That kind of thing. But as you enter, you see Rosalina, this kind of small but very curvaceous, long auburn head, ringlets kind of descending down her body, spilling over her shoulders. A halfling woman with a very plunging blouse, long skirt, as she's kind of deftly running up and down the bar, serving drinks. There is also a half-elf girl who is serving the tables. You can see that she's very quiet, keeps her head down, and she has a very terrible facial scar down the left side of her face. But she wears kind of simple tavern girl clothes, really. And she has like a wooden tray, and she's gathering glasses, bringing fresh ones out to the tables. And as you enter, there is that classic moment of like, there's the chatter and then a bit of a silence as everyone looks over and sees this group of 5 strangers.
Wooden chair squeak.
Yeah. A couple of them just kind of nod and then go back to their business. You see a couple of women with like wide eyes as they look around and then like gossiped, whispering to each other, like, "You look at that one." It's just kind of whispering away. But generally there is no violent behavior. It's all kind of just shock and sort of amazement more than anything. But yeah, you find it to be extremely full.
I'm going to clap. Everybody! Everybody!
They all turn around.
Now I know we're the strangers in town, so how about a warm welcome? First round is on me.
There is a whoa! And there's just like, well, shoot me sideways, zip, zip, and where? And there's like cheering and hollering and
Never seen a
whelping.
sideways suit before.
we should be saving the gold. That's a lot of money.
He has loads.
I know he has loads.
This halfling woman, who you know is Rosalina, because you did meet her before, comes up to you and it's just like, "Oh, Mr. Lucius, that is very kind of you. Yes. I am assuming, would you like people to have cheapest available drinks?"
Absolutely.
Yes, of course. I will.
And my party.
Well, of course, you may order what you wish.
Give them the slop. The sloppy slop.
Well, we don't serve slop at the Brazen Heart, of course, my friend.
That's the thing. Yes.
I can show Sunbringers for everybody. There's a beer that we serve here, 4 copper each.
Half pints.
Half pints. All right, very well. And then she's like, "Everybody, it's only half pints for the
pints.
for the elven
pints.
men's."
Full pints.
Full, and then they're like, I forget. There's another kind of cheer around.
Don't embarrass me, Rosie.
Okay. Well, she's like, "Well, now I have to give them full pints now. You understand?"
Yes.
Very well. She's like, "Well," and she kind of goes up and she turns over to. You can see like a burly-looking farmer fellow. And he's got like what might be his sons or like workers on his farm, and she just heads over and she's, Nib, give the table up to the kind people who are buying you all around the drinks. And he just is like, he like looks over and he's like, "Well, a man who's buying me a drink, I'll give him a seat for that." And he comes over and this big sort of like 6 foot, big wide farmer's muscles. His shirt might as well not be on. It's like so sort of like low cut. The sleeves have been like ripped off of it. It's basically a vest at this point. Wearing like really loose buckskin kind of trousers with big tall boots that are covered in mud. And he comes over and he like thrusts out a hand, like this big meaty ham fist. He's like, "Pleasure to meet you, sir. I'd want to shake a hand of a man buying me a beer."
Yes.
It like engulfs the hand and he's like shakes it quite vigorously.
Thank you.
"Well, welcome to Rose Hall. It's mighty kind of you to buy a thing. That's sure way to make a friend around here, I say."
I thought so. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Come on, boys. Let's go play a game of darts while the kind folk take a seat.
I'm going to sit behind the dart playing, if you wouldn't mind. Is this where the table is? Far away from the darties?
points to the table. He's like, we're going to be over there.
Excellent.
Y'all can sit here.
You focus on throwing the darts that way.
Well, that is the aim of the game.
Perfect. Enjoy your pint.
I will. And he gets up, and his other sons come with him, and there is a booth or a table basically
Come,
vacated
friends.
for you.
Let's sit. As you'll purge your guts, Ayla included, myself included, let's fill it back up with some fine liquor.
I'd like some chocolate milk, please.
Rosalina,
Role play.
do you have
Frolic.
chocolate milk?
We have milk. We have milk.
Chocolate? Chocolate?
Cocoa
Don't-
beans?
Never heard of it before, I'm afraid. I've never heard of it before.
Any kind of sweetness, like honey or something.
I can put the honey in the milk.
Honey milk?
It's good to help me sleep.
Okay.
What's chocolate?
It's
Goes
a
off.
sweet thing.
Quite a luxury.
So the quite half-elven girl comes over to you and is like, what would you all like to drink?
Sorry?
What would you all like to drink?
What would you like to drink, everybody?
Just water for me, thank you.
Nods. Doesn't say anything, just nods.
Oh, I thought you called me a nonce.
No, I wouldn't do that, Tom Hazel.
No.
That's what I heard.
That's just your internal monologue. Oh my God.
Ayla will have a beer. You'll have water, you'll have milk.
Honey milk.
Birdie.
I had one earlier and I've got
Warm,
a bit of a
You
headache.
don't charge for water, do you? No. Okay, good. Perfect. Have water.
Lucius, you would know that they serve 3 drinks primarily. Heart wine is the most expensive. It's a strong fruity wine that is made locally. Rose mead is the second, is a sweet honeyed mead. And then Sunbringer is a locally brewed beer. It's like a light, crispy, frothy beer.
I'll have the Harbinger, please.
The heart wine,
Yes.
nods, just merging 2 drinks there together. Okay. She looks at Sentry, amazed, and is just, do you need a drink?
I don't need a drink.
Lady?
Thank you very
Oh,
much.
okay.
I'm fine, thank you.
And then she
Could
darts
you give me
away.
an empty cup?
She nods.
Warm.
Warm, okay.
A warm
empty
empty
cup?
cup, yes.
That might be all right.
She heads off. So in total, Lucius, you are going to be paying +4, +9,
Oh, this better not be enough to cover
two.
Larval's costs.
7.5 gold.
That's quite,
No, that's considerably less.
I mean, it's still a lot.
300 gold.
Lovely.
I mean,
It's actually, no, it wouldn't be.
technically
It would be less than that.
pay for our.
It's actually less than that because it would be, if that's copper pieces, did that by the amount of people inside, everyone got beer, times 10. That would actually be in silver pieces, so that's actually only 7.5 silver rather than gold.
Oh, let's keep doing this then.
Yeah.
Another round.
Just keep doing it. Just keep buying everyone drinks.
Get them drunk.
The whole
Get them
town
rowdy.
Drunk.
Beat us up.
Yeah, and yeah, there's just a general good vibe in the air as people kind of clap over as you sit down. Drinks are brought over to you. Quite a few folk make their way over to your table, however, while you're sat there.
Right.
As people want to come up and introduce themselves. For the most part, they all appear to be workers in the town, farming folk. They all come over and they just, you get the sense that there is this, we want to go and look at the weird people. Right. They come over and they, most of them come over and are like, oh, thank y'all so much for the drinks and blah, blah, blah. What are you all doing in Rose Hall? And they make idle conversation kind of thing. Most of them, you can tell, probably have never left this town. They seem to be like very much local working types.
Yeah.
They don't really have anything to talk about apart from local stuff or asking you questions. There's one exception, or 2 exceptions, I should say, actually. One is a young woman. She looks to be maybe around her mid to late 20s, and she has blonde hair, like sandy blonde hair, kind of pulled into 2 kind of tight like pigtails by her side. And she has got a very athletic build. Her upper arms look quite toned and muscled. Mm-hmm. She has little bits of smudges of what look like soot almost, kind of around her ears, around her arms and elbows and things like that. But she has a big wide smile as she approaches you. And she just comes over and kind of bangs the table. Well, hey, y'all. Just wanted to say, big old well, thank you so much for them drinks. My name's Dasa. I noticed y'all have got armor and arms over here. I'm the town smith, so if you all need any work, you come by my shop in the morning. I'll be glad to help you out with any bangs or rivets or blades you need sharpening, anything like that.
Would you be able to identify something?
As in magic?
Well, not magic necessarily. Nova, you have that spear tip.
And I just hold up the spear tip.
Sure, I'll take a look at it if y'all don't mind. You mind if I take a seat?
Sure.
Sure.
Go for it.
Like drags drags a chair over, flips it round, Riker sits on
Someone
it.
still sat on it.
Shoves them off. Riker sits on it, takes it up, and she begins looking at it, and she's like, well, the iron's a piece of shit, and it sure ain't sharpened no well. It looks pretty savage to me, but she kind of pings it a little bit, and she's like, She like digs it into the table a little bit, and like you hear like Rosaline like, Dasa, stop that. And she's like, oh, sorry. She gets like a small piece of leather out of her pocket, like cuts it, and it's super sharp. She just slices through it. She's like, oh boy, yeah, I reckon there's magic in this. No way this thing, like shaped and bent as it is, could be that sharp. Definitely magic in there somewhere. Holds it back.
Cool. Thank you.
Well, I'm afraid I ain't no wizard. I don't know nothing about identifying no magic or anything like that, but I can tell you it's probably wild elf work. I know that for sure. It
Oh,
looks
almost
pretty.
definitely.
Do you happen to have any
tell.
pearls worth 100 gold?
She's like, lady, I'm a blacksmith. I don't know what y'all expecting. If y'all want stuff like that, y'all best probably heading on down to. Let me have a think here. Well, the Dale Guilds, they'll probably have stuff like that. They travel all over, so they pick up goods in all sorts of towns. Maximilian, he's a nice fella. He'll probably be able to help you out. Or the other one, he's a bit grumpy, but I kind of like him, is Naville. Naville's Quills and Quandaries. He don't come to the tavern, though. He don't like people, so.
He doesn't like people.
Nah, he's one of them call it's gnomes. One of them whisper gnomes. They only like their own kind, but I think he's like not popular with them either because he came to live here by himself and he just likes reading and building his little ships.
That sounds wonderful.
Ships?
Yeah, he builds like these little model ships that you can put in bottles and stuff like that, and he builds them all the time.
That sounds amazing.
It's real boring. None of us really get it. But, I mean, he's harmless. He's a wizard, I think. He knows all magic and stuff. He sells like scrolls and fancy inks and powders and stuff like that.
Well,
Me, I just trade in good old steel. Best steel in Rose Hall.
Okay.
Whereabouts is he?
Oh, he's just on the other side of town. You can't miss it. You look for Quills and Quandaries, you'll find it, no problem. It's not like it's a big town. It's a tiny little place.
well, thank you kindly for your
Oh, that's my
offer of
pleasure.
your services.
Oh, well, at least I can do for buying a drink. So what are y'all doing here?
Well,
After you.
we are traveling through very quickly.
Figured that much.
Yes, I want to get home.
All right, you come from, now I bet you from one of them fancy sky cities, right?
That's right. Could
Oh,
you
what
guess
they
it?
like?
They're really beautiful and wonderful. They're the best thing ever, and I want to go home.
Do everybody dress like you from up there?
Not as nicely, but yes.
Oh, so you're like, you stand out, you fancy up there.
He is
Wow.
a fancy man.
Yes.
Oh, ain't that something? What about the rest of y'all?
Yeah.
You can see that she looks and she wants Sentry to answer, but is like being polite and is asking everybody.
Yeah, we're joining Lucius on his journey home.
Are y'all friends?
Yes. Close friends.
I think we've become good friends.
Ada's like, yes, friends.
Special friends.
Yeah. She's just like, well, ain't you a motley crew? So you just traveling with your friend here, your scout friend?
Yes? Yes. Well, we came with a few other people as well. We came with a dwarf. Is he around?
You haven't seen him down here, no.
Okay. He managed to sustain an injury in the journey, and
Oh,
we're
no.
looking to acquire the funds to make him better.
Oh, you're gonna go up and ask old Torval, the Sunbringer, right?
Yes.
Is that Sunbringer Blackhammer?
Yeah. Oh, well, I hope he can help you. I've heard that if you got the gold, he can work all kinds of amazing magics, heal people right up.
I think it was old Neb. He had a broken hand once, and he has a rich uncle up in Gold Throne, offered to send some gold down. Torval, he just did this holy prayer. It had incense and all that. Just healed it up, magic, overnight like that. Whoo-wee!
Well, that's good to know. That's what we're gaining the money for. We're actually heading towards Gold Throne. You'd say he had a rich uncle up there.
I think Neb does, yeah, sure. A lot of folks around here, they got family all over Savona, but any folks that come to live out here in the southern edges or out in the country and stuff like that, generally it's because we prefer the land, my late husband, he wanted to move up to Gold Throne, but my family's here, and I didn't want to take my boys and my girl away from here, so we just stuck around, and it's nice being the best blacksmith in town. I reckon if I went up somewhere like Gold Throne, I'd just be a copper piece in a beggar's pot. You know what I'm saying?
Oh no, I'm sure you create wonderful works.
Yeah, if you want to give my works a go, you can come by my shop. I got plenty of things. I got a couple little special items for if y'all happen to be rich enough to afford magic healing, then I got some pieces that you might be interested in, but
Wow.
if y'all need any repairs or anything. Also, I'm sorry, I'm trying to be polite, but I really want to ask the Guardian why you're here, because my mom and dad, they used to tell me stories about Guardians all the time. We didn't think you were real, but here you are walking around. And she's like, I'm sorry, is it all right if I examine some of your?
Completely fine.
And she begins looking around, and she can you hold out your arm? And she's like, look at the flexibility in this metal. This is amazing. And what is this, wood inside of here? Wow, how does that one? She's really completely curious about the whole thing works. And yeah, she just seems to get distracted with Sentry for a second.
Cool.
I guess we're just watching awkwardly.
Yeah, if you want to, you could probably have a conversation without her noticing
Yeah.
it while she's examining Sentry.
I'm probably just writing. Yeah, I'll be writing in my notebook.
Okay.
Just stuff.
When she's waving Sentry's arms around, her armpits are wafting quite the stench. So I'm going to move.
Who, sentries?
No,
Oh.
our guest.
Yeah, she's very sweaty. Very, very sweaty woman. It's very hot in here in general because there's so many bodies, but it's beginning to get quite pungent. It smells like a working tavern full of workers.
Get some air outside.
You wander off.
Fanning myself.
You know that there is a smell, but to you it's just it's like a registering it's there.
Okay,
Sentry is I know that there is a smell, but it's not, awful.
Yeah.
So, and she finishes, she's just well, thank you so much. I'm so fascinated by the skills of some of the smiths and artisans that came before us. Some of those techniques have been lost forever. And how they managed to shape your body, I guess, from metal is beyond me. I've never seen anything like it.
Me neither. I woke up, not too long ago, 3 weeks ago. Master Quill here woke me, and everything's changed. Everything's different.
Oh my goodness, I bet.
Yeah.
A strange old place to fall into. Well, listen, you've got a few nicks and dents all over. If you need a hand, I'll happily fix you up for free. It won't take too long. We'll get some
I'd really
patches
appreciate
and things.
That'd be amazing.
I see your weapon as well. If it looks like you might need a couple of splinters on the haft there, I can fix that up, add a new grip. Anything you might need. So anyway, I'll let you folks get back to your drinks and everything else, but I'm Dasa Goodsmith, Goodsmith's Forge, just on the other side of town. You come by if you need me. Been a pleasure. My boy and my girl, they'd love to meet y'all. They'd never seen anybody like any of y'all, so if you come by, that'd be a real pleasure. But nice to meet y'all, and she kind of spins the chair around.
Bye.
Bye.
Heads off.
Yeah.
Lucius, you're waiting outside and wafting this air, and you hadn't seen them before. Quill had only seen them, but kind of on the other side of the street, just watching the tavern, you see these two human men, rough-looking beards, dark-looking eyes, kind of short-cropped hair, probably wearing, basic tunics, basic trousers, but kind of look quite dirty and like they've been in a mine or digging somewhere. Just kind of watching you. And as you come out, they're watching you. They're not watching the tavern, they're looking at you.
I'm going to very awkwardly kind of shuffle around as if I'm pretending not to be watched at all.
Okay.
Kind of kicking the ground and trying to make my way out of their line of sight.
Okay, so you want to go around the back
I'm going to
of like
skirt around the
inn.
tavern and try and find a back way back into the tavern.
Okay. Yeah, so you kind of skirt your way around. And yeah, it's not hard, but you notice that they try and follow you without being seen, but you spot them like moving kind of along with you and stuff like that, like moving to the next building and kind of like walking the perimeter.
As I go around the side, I'm like, "Ew, big, huge security man. Perfect. How are you doing today? Would you like a drink?"
Are you talking to just like an air, like pretending
nothing.
like somebody's there?
Oh, there's two of you. Big, sharp, pointy things.
You hear like from the darkness on the other side of the street, you just hear a like,
God, you look like you're about to kill anybody. Especially people who are criminals or up to no good. Yes.
you're at the side of the
I'm shuffling towards...
So you move, eventually you make your way around to the complete back of the tavern, and you see that there is kind of like, not really a stable, but more like a very vague, like an open barn. Like the front of it's open, but you can see it has a roof, and inside there is like piles of hay, and there appear to be like some pigs and some chickens and that kind of like scuttering around like a little chicken coop. And sat like on the hay, laying out blankets and things, you can see Yusuf, Corin, Arvel, and Valor, and they're basically like pitching up in this kind of like open stable, basically.
How far
And
away?
they look over, they're just like literally around the corner, they're like right in front of you.
I'm going to
Basically.
scuttle up to them very quickly.
Okay, you see them like, they kind of look up, and Arvel's like, "Ah, Lucius, my boy. You all right?
Nope.
What's happening?"
There's people following us. Very weird.
Valor kind of like looks up and is like, "Oh, all right, something interesting's happening." And Yusuf is like, "What do you mean that people are following you?"
Yes, they look evil.
They did say that when we came into the town that there's a family. I was like, "Brookstone family." Yes, they are supposed to be, they do not like strangers in their town, or they're supposed to be quite ruffians.
Yes, very rugged.
Hopefully that they will not pursue us close to here. I mean, and she points, there's a
literally around
back
the
door.
corner.
She points to a back door that leads into the tavern. It's like, "Oh, well, perhaps, do you think we'll be safe here, Arvel?" It's like, "I reckon they shouldn't be causing any trouble. They're probably just trying to get a sus on Lucius and the others."
Well, I've worked up quite the crowd in the tavern. Maybe if I talk a bit about how people are trying to pursue us, maybe we'll get some friendly security.
Might help.
I'll
Okay.
do that.
Sure. We'll be staying out here tonight. We negotiated with Rosalina. We haven't got any coins, so we're going to stay out here, and it's a kind of holding deposit till I can get some funds delivered from the town, from my family.
How much do you need?
Well, it's about it's about 8 silver a night for a single room, 14 for a double, but
I mean, for your fix you.
300 they said for my leg. I don't know if you guys had come back and told him that,
I
but
don't think so.
okay,
But you
well,
would know that
yeah,
it was 300.
Lucius would know it was 300.
In which case, it was more like, how much was it again? Oh, that much? Right. Well, I don't carry that around in my traveling funds.
I wouldn't expect you to, boy. It's fine. I think the plan is that, I'm going to rest up here and try and hope my legs get better until money comes down from Gold Throne. And then that way I can pay off Rosalina and get my leg fixed, and all will be well.
Good. Perfect. Well, I'll go in the tavern, see if we can rustle up some friendlies, and see if they can help us out.
Sure. Tell the
then-
others that we're out here.
Stay alert.
Well, yeah, I will do. And you can see he's got his crossbow Evangeline like right next to him, kind of thing. He's kind of like lying his back against the hay, and he's just kind of like patting it gently.
Any issues, run into the tavern.
Will do.
Stuff with people.
And Sister Yusuf
Well,
is like,
don't run, but...
Thank you, Lucius. Yes, we will do that. And she like looks up at Valor and she's like, "Valor, make sure you stay at the back of the barn then, if there are dangerous-looking people out there." And she's just like, "Yeah, okay."
Yes, back at the barn. I'm winking.
She like winks back. Okay.
I'm going to try and gesture whether she's still got the...
Both daggers.
She like looks and she like nods.
Well, anyway, see you later.
Okay, yeah. You head back inside.
Got wine to drink.
Yeah, it's still extremely busy. As you come in, you see that the rest of you have been approached by a dwarven woman. She has got the same kind of sunny blonde hair as the blacksmith Daza did, but she's a dwarf, so squatter, much more muscular. Her skin is like very well tanned, but it's a farmer's tan. Like it's like you can see that like there is a hard line at where her tunic would land. She probably has like a line on her head from where she wears a hat, and she's holding this kind of floppy straw hat in her hand. And she's got like a big long piece of hay coming out of her mouth. But you can see that on her body is like this thick suit of leather and like ringmail. She kind of walks up and she plants one sort of like elbow on the table and like gives a hard look around. Well, so y'all must be the folks from out of town then. I've been hearing my boy Jessup say you came in this way today.
Jessup, he was the boy at the gate, as we call him.
He's my second. A little druidic magic, been training him up. I'm Windy Gail. I'm the scarecrow in this town.
Oh, we heard about you.
I'm so good you did. That's a mighty fine thing. What you been hearing about me?
Oh, only
Mr.
good
Birdman.
things. We were actually told...
Oh, that's no good. I want y'all to be scared of me.
Well, all of a sudden I'm terrified.
Oh, now that's better. And she kind of gives you a crooked grin. Like...
We were told to seek you out if we were looking for, a way to earn some money, perhaps.
Yeah, I reckon I got ways around that. There's a couple of things me and the field warden have been looking into. I don't have the harvest guard to spare. You, Lucius, you kind of end in and you're hearing this conversation as like it happens at the table. Yeah, there's a few things, a couple of jobs me and the field warden need doing. Don't have the men to do it.
Okay.
Now, I got a question for y'all before we talk about that. What y'all doing here in Rose Hall? Traveling through or
Or...
Well, you tell me, boy.
I suppose I should.
We crashed. Airship.
Yeah.
Our friend got injured, and so this is the first place we could find to bring him.
Jessup said you mentioned about that crash. I had a few reports about that. Didn't sound like anybody could survive. How'd y'all pull that off?
There's some glide cloths in every... Enjoying that?
Yep.
Okay. There's some glide cloths in every airship, and we managed to procure some and glide our way down.
Yeah, what happened to that crew and captain? Reckon I hear about them airships. They always got one.
Oh, they do. They do.
They did.
We were under attack, you see, from something. You know more about it than me, Nova.
The remnant.
Stops chewing. Now, what's a girl like you when you ganassi knowing about no remnant?
I thought everyone knew about them.
Think about negatives. Quadruple negative.
Nope. That ain't the case around here, girl. That's a dangerous word to be toting.
I read about them in a book.
Yeah, not much book reading around here. Give me a deception check, because you know them more than just reading books about them. You have first-hand experience.
Ain't
Fine.
nothing around here.
She just looks at you.
I'm not a deceptive
no.
person.
And she looks at you and is like, read about it in a book,
I just hold up my books.
And then her eyes flicker to Tiangong. Now listen. Maybe that's true. Maybe y'all fought off some sort of ancient evil attackers with shadow magic and powers of the old Starbane. I'm a dwarf. I know these things, even if many folk around here don't. Maybe y'all are pirates, killed your captain, couldn't control ship, crashed it.
Now, why would we crash an airship that we were trying to steal?
I said you couldn't control it.
No, that makes sense.
That's horrible.
Sure is. My job ain't to be no nice person. I'm the scarecrow. I'm here to look after this town. Now, maybe y'all are good folks, just happen to be in a bit of a down luck. You wound up here looking for a bit of safe harbor, but maybe y'all ain't so good. I'm just here to give you friendly warning that I don't like people like that. And I've been dealing with people like you for a long time.
Excuse me. Sorry to interrupt. Scarecrow, Mrs. Scarecrow?
Y'all can call me Gail.
Gail. Well, if we were really pirates, we'd try and scavenge as much treasure and whatnot as possible. We wouldn't possibly be going around buying everybody around, would we?
Just like cocks a grin. It's like, if only the world were so shallow, Mr. Sky Elf. Very easy for a ne'er-do-well to come in here all smiles and drinks and spending gold coins. Like I said, maybe y'all are just unfortunate souls who ended up crashing down in a dangerous part of town. It's my job to make sure. Now, you want to earn some coin, you said? You want to do some good in this place?
If you're willing to give jobs to bad people.
Well, we already spoke to the field marshal, and he told us of 2 tasks.
Probably being the same tasks then. I can give you some details now if you prefer, or you can talk to the field warden in the morning.
Might as well just get your opinion on the matter.
All right. A couple of days ago, some weird earthen mounds and tunnels started emerging near a farm to the east. It's an old farm, just an old couple who lived there, been working it for a while, but they've been saying that some of their cattle been going missing. Now, I know these lands pretty well, and ain't no big enough beast to come in and steal cattle without causing a big ruckus. So I don't reckon it's no wolf or bear or anything like that. I reckon, well, I'm not sure what it could be, but I don't have the people to go and investigate it and go chasing after monsters. So if y'all willing to look into that, we can pay you for that. Just be careful. There's a few monsters out there that could burrow and dig and might be causing that kind of trouble. If you can, I recommend investigating them tunnels, seeing what you can find out. And
These aren't the hallmarks of the wild elves? Do they ever steal cattle, or do they simply come in and kill?
Oh, if it was wild elves, we'd know if it was them. First of all, they ride in with large numbers, make sure that we can't just take out small groups of them. But these earthen tunnels, I've never seen a wild elf do anything like that, even with their druidic magic, even their shamans. Nah, this is some kind of beasts, I reckon. Something about it's familiar, but I can't recall what.
And how much were you saying you'd be willing to pay for that?
200 gold if you find out what's causing them and you can put them down,
Fair
if
enough.
it is a beast. The other one is more of a pressing job, really. It's pretty bad for the town. Last 2 shipments coming in from Gold Throne. Merchants bringing in trade goods, people coming in with supplies. They gone missing. Now, I've sent my boys up there to try and find out what's happened, but there's some druidic magic hiding it. Some sort of, could be wild elves, but they don't normally go that far north. But something's hiding, whatever's been attacking them wagons, something's hiding it. Now, we can't find no trace of it, but maybe y'all have better luck. But yeah, these wagons, they come in from the north down the main trade road and just vanish. Nobody sees them. We don't hear from the people, any survivors, nothing. No bodies, normally just an empty cart, that's it.
Anything interrupting the main trade route must be of utmost importance. The field warden said that would be about 250 gold.
Deception check.
You talk.
That's a 16.
She eyes you and she kind of like gives you a kind of toothy grin. Yeah, I reckon maybe he did say something about that. I reckon it's worth that to the town.
Okay.
Yeah, you come see me and we can make sure that gets paid. But
Fantastic.
Master Quill, that information isn't correct.
It's okay.
Yes, was it like 200?
No. It was 200 for the first one. You misheard.
Are you sure?
You misheard.
Essentially, it's definitely right.
No.
Ayla just like thumps like Lucius in the chest, like winds like. Oh, sorry.
Or maybe at the very least, a good word with Sunbringer Blackhammer to encourage him maybe to help us heal our friend.
I can work with Torval. If y'all think I'm a one to talk and try and give you the scare not to act up in the town. Torval ain't one to be sweet talked. He's the only person he's gonna listen to is Palador, and I don't think Palador is gonna be arguing and give y'all a discount. But anyway,
You remind me of my grandmother.
her eyes narrow. Y'all saying I'm like a grandma?
She's like pretty strict as well, but she's got a heart of gold.
You saying I'm old?
No.
She like looks at you. So you're saying I remind you of a grandma, but I'm not old.
My grandmother. Just because my grandmother appears really strict, especially with newcomers, but it's because she's trying to suss out who you are and whether or not you're going to hurt her family, because her family mean the most.
Sounds like your grandma's a smart woman then. And she kind of gets up and she like stretches her muscles a little bit. She like pops the bones in her knuckles and then just is like, all right, well, we'll see how y'all get on. If y'all have any trouble, come find me. Don't go trying to fix things yourselves, you hear? You come find me and get the harvest guard on your side.
Well, actually, while you're here, Mr. Scarecrow, we have...
Call me Gail. Scarecrow is a title.
Okay. We have seen a couple of people following us around town, eyeing us up.
She rolls her eyes like, yeah, that'll be Brett's boys. You seen them recently?
They're just outside the tavern right now.
Outside right now?
Yes.
For goodness sake, by Siaska, and she like, all right, fine. And she begins like rolling up her sleeves.
I mean, if you're going out, will you be able to do that alone?
She just smiles and is like, I've been dealing with Brett Brookstone since he was... She like gestures to like a toddler height, like...
Oh, is he a halfling?
No, he's a man, but I've been dealing with him since he was a babe. You just leave his boys to me. They ain't gonna fight me. I'm just gonna give them a scare.
Just like my grandmother.
And she goes like, all right, well, I'll leave you folks to the evening, but take care. She like gets out and she calls back. She's like, Rosalina, I'm gonna go deal with Brett's boys. Okay, thank you, Gail. And then just you hear like a slamming of the door and then like a, hey, you dad, what are you doing down there? You feeling Peter out of town? I'm a Peter. And then like thump, 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 and like some shouts and cries, and then that's it. You don't hear anything
Well,
else.
I think that's all dealt with.
Yeah.
Perfect.
And hey, thank you, Quill. Thank you.
What are you thinking of?
Good job, Birdman.
Thank
Like
you.
Ayla's
Yeah,
like.
Ayla gets it. Thank you. More gold for the wagon one.
Oh, that's what
And this will help quite a lot.
You're being all tricksy.
No, I didn't think I was tricksy.
You're lying.
Well, I might have lied a little bit, but
If you want to earn some honest coin, friend.
it's honest enough. We're helping them.
Lying's bad.
That lying is bad.
But it's to help our whole.
Sentry's like the epitome of lawfulness. She was built that way.
I do
If she
rate.
says you're bad, you're a baddie.
I think you need to go on a timeout.
Did I go on about? Did I say something? I mean, I was being.
What are you talking about? You just what? So if it's the dwarf woman's fault if she didn't pick up that Quill was bartering for some more gold.
I think she knew.
It sounds like a very important job. I think it was only the right thing to do.
You just shouldn't be dishonest, especially with honest people.
I mean, okay. I'm sorry.
Yes. Apology accepted, Birdie. That's a great... See? Heart of gold. Just like your grandmother.
Old. Are you saying I'm old?
Heart of old?
No, like her
Oh,
grandmother.
no, the heart of gold bit.
Oh.
I don't know how... Do you snuff it at like 5 years old? I don't know how long birdies live for.
Actually, not far off.
Really? Oh, that's awful. How old are you now?
Oh, I'm. I mean, I don't really go by age in the same way you do, but I guess 2 or 3, something like that. Yeah, very young.
Yes, but you're past it, really.
Oh, yeah, we age very quickly.
You're going to snuff it in two years.
No. We are around like I don't know, 10, 15, that sort of thing. But like,
The other thing, Lucius, you would have remembered this from the last episode that you weren't here from.
Oh.
Sentry did reveal that she only had 2 years left to live or left to function.
Oh, yeah.
That is correct information.
So there's this sudden realization as you kind of say like, you've nearly snuffed it, haven't you, Birdie, at 2 years? And then you look at Sentry and remembered what she said.
So sorry, said.
It's quite
Up here, have your empty cup. I'm sorry. Oh, that's awful.
It's warm.
It's only the natural order of
I
things.
didn't mean it. Oh.
Ayla just picks up a hammer and is like, I'm going to bed.
good night.
She like looks over at Nova. Nova, just don't make too much noise when you come in.
Okay, I might do some reading.
That's fine. Do it quiet though.
Okay.
Read quiet.
I do.
Stomps upstairs, goes to bed. Rosalina comes by. Any more drinks for you, my friends? Some people are beginning to head out now. Things should get quieter. Would you like any of the food or services?
Can I see it first?
Yes, of course. I will bring you the menu.
No.
She brings you a menu, upon which it's like a black thing.
I'm not meant to.
Ren, can you just move your mic? It's just because it's
we
titled in,
did
it's
eat
rubbing
before
against
we
it.
left the
Oh,
town
sorry,
last
yeah.
week,
Like maybe
so it's
flip
not
it to
that
the
long
other
ago.
side.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
So,
So Lucius knows. Trot.
Lucius knows, yes. She brings you a menu with a small black board, and on it has the food menu, which for the evening there is stuffed dusk peppers with chicken and cheese, sizzling pork belly with carrots, leeks, and fried potatoes. Or there are snacks, which is small bags and bowls of fruit nuts, fried potatoes, jerky, and pork rinds. And then under it, it lists services. Rooms are 8 silver a night for a single bedroom, 14 silver for a double room. Massages are 6 silver for half an hour. Adult services are listed at 3 gold per hour. Tailored adult services are 10 gold for 2 hours. And then spell casting services are also available.
Well.
And she offers that, like, would you require anything? And she is like a halfling, so she's like, 3 foot at most. But you can see that she's very womanly.
How did Lucius react last time?
I didn't have any
You
reaction
didn't.
anyway. Like, I didn't want to make that decision for you.
Lucius is trying to cover up the services section.
we've only just eaten, Lucius.
We did eat.
Do you want the other?
It was probably a couple of
What are
hours
the-
ago.
Oh, that?
Yeah.
No.
Why,
Don't do that.
why would you need to look at the menu again? Are you hungry again?
Well, I thought maybe you said that's not century. Anybody else is hungry. Maybe so. That blacksmith lady. Maybe she's hungry.
Would you like to buy her?
Are you offering to buy Daisy some food? You hear like the blacksmith woman's head appears. Like, what y'all saying?
No, I'm not hungry actually.
All right, very well,
thoughts.
of course, yes,
Yes.
no problem. And she takes the board back.
I was wondering, like Nova's pretty naive to this. Like
Hmm?
the adult tailored services.
Is this Nova asking in character?
This is Nova.
Okay.
I was
Yes.
wondering, so like I miss my parents and I'm pretty hungry.
I need the toilet.
So
Oh, believe it.
Okay. There's an outhouse out back.
Okay.
when you say adult, does that mean that you just pretend to be my mom and give me a hug and like read me a story?
She kind of like smiles a bit and she's like, well, Nova, there are some people that will hire for you to be a motherly figure to them, but not in the way that you are thinking. This is more for intimate matters.
So she's gonna make this face, like a blank face, kind of just working. Like you can almost hear the cogwheels turning in her head, and they're like,
By tailored, sometimes you provide illusionary spells, enchantment spells to heighten the experience. There is some alchemical matters that can help people. Some men find it very difficult to perform, and I have alchemical supplies that can help
Sentry,
with
it's
that.
about that time, I think.
Oh, is it?
Yes.
that
it's
is
about
not what
time
I
we
was thinking.
shoot off. Actually, I think it's
It sounds like you all want. Yeah, you guys are gonna go to bed.
Yeah, I'm going.
The outhouse is like an outhouse. It's like a wooden shed with like a little.
Full
It
of
would
piss.
have like a kind of like not porcelain, but probably like clay-esque toilet that you sit on. But it is just a bowl underneath like a rim, and the bowl has to be changed.
I open the door.
Yeah.
Yep. Straight back in.
Okay. Okay. Sure. Would you all like to go to bed for the
Yes.
evening?
yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
Alone.
You head to your quarters. Those of you who have shared rooms, you find them filled with 2 single beds. They are a little small, perhaps. For those of you who are very tall, they are a little bit small.
Oh no, I remember. We've got a single room.
You've got a
She
single
just
room, and Sentry is just
yeah.
like
She just sits by a plug outlet
Yeah.
in the corner.
Sentry can just sit on a chair. I mean, it's not Sentry. You benefit from sleeping in a comfortable bed as much as anybody else. So, like, if you did have like a plush room, you would gain the same benefits as everybody else for like sleeping in a nice room. If you continue to like just sit on a chair, that will probably have some penalties after time because like you want to like let rest and stuff like that. You still have muscles and things like that, but they just work in different ways. You just don't need to sleep.
Yeah, under the bed.
Just imagine it's like a Borg alcove, like 7 and 9.
You can do that to an extent, but even if it was something like a comfy chair,
Yeah.
that's way better than like hard stool.
Give her a pillow. Come on.
I mean, I probably would.
Yeah.
There's only one pillow, so
Oh, so I'd sacrifice my own pillow?
yeah.
I mean, I do have a bed.
Like roll up my cloak and just sit on it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you're not going to have penalties for one night, like, just sat there, but just for future
how it
reference, it's you still benefit from the comforts of life.
Nice.
As everybody else does.
Send Echo out and he'll just like plonk on my shoulder and just go.
Yeah, just boop boop, and he just kind of beeps away. Quill, you settle in. The bed is comfortable. It's probably like a straw mattress, but with like very thick linens on it.
Yeah.
It smells. Yours smells faintly of lavender, I believe you asked for. Ayla's has like a wildflower scent. Yours, I can't remember what you asked for.
Freshly baked bread.
Freshly baked bread. It probably does have that slight smell, but not very strong.
Moldy bread.
Not moldy bread, but it smells like it just has like a faint bready
Someone's
smell.
just eating bread.
Lucius, you didn't offer a fragrance, I don't think, so she probably just had something fruity and nice. So the bed is perfumed, like as you go to
got
like.
my own room.
Yes, you have your own room with like a little wash basin and stuff like
How many
that.
pillows?
Just the one.
Yeah, okay.
But the blanket is thick, the linens are soft, and it has this
No
kind of
one's
like
trying to murder
fragrance
us.
stain. Yeah. And yeah, for the first time, like after spending like almost a week sleeping outside, you have a rest in a warm bed, and it is very peaceful. It's not quite good enough to give you a bonus, but it is a comfortable night's rest. And you awake in the morning with no dreams, no visions, or anything like that, feeling fresh and awake.
Lovely.
Cool.
How would you like to proceed?
I guess do we all wake up at pretty much the same time, or?
Yeah, I mean, you guys can head downstairs. There is a kind of like a buffet breakfast kind of thing, like laid out on the bar. There is like plates of bacon, mushrooms, tomatoes, bread, kind of thick bacon as well, like, you know, carved off of the pig, thick bacon, cheese, and it's just kind of laid out, and you just help yourself to a few bits and bobs here and there. And yeah, there are plates on standby. The half-elf girl with the face is kind of there, like you can see her cleaning and stuff like that. She just gives you a very kind of quiet, like, good morning, and she just carries on, like, cleaning up.
Gonna skirt round her.
Okay.
And
She tries to keep her disfigured side of her face away from people that are trying to talk to her.
Hello. Morning.
Oh, good morning.
Morning.
Is there anything I can do?
I don't want to be rude, but I'd like to see you clean the cutlery I'm about to use for the food.
Oh, of course, yes. Give me a second, and then she
Really scrub it.
goes over, gets the plate, gets the knife and fork. Well, the sinks are in the back room. You'll have to come out into the kitchen, and then she goes into the kitchen.
Okay.
You follow.
Oh, maybe I can help you.
No, that's fine. I'm just.
I'll get a tea towel. And I'm gonna find a tea towel.
Okay. There is like a cloth. It's not really a tea towel. It's like like a cloth.
Smell it.
It smells clean.
Doesn't smell damp.
No. And then she washes the plate and cutlery,
Excellent.
and then puts them on the side.
Perfect. You gonna check for any like weird stuff?
No, it seems extremely clean. Like, I mean, you know, this is a quaint, quiet, nice little country tavern. So yeah, it's as clean as it can be. It's probably not, you know, clinically clean like the Sky Cities would be, but it is clean.
Thank you very much for the extra effort.
You're welcome,
What's
sir.
your name?
Oh, sorry, my name is Reld.
Reld.
Yes, Reld.
Pleasure to meet you. I'm Lucius Viren Elwin Elenasto.
Nice to meet you,
Good
sir.
to meet you. You make very spangly cutlery, you know that? Very
just-
skilled.
She like nods and
You'll go far
smiles.
with that, in this town at least. I don't know about the rest of it. But yes, well done.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Yes, I
Do you want
just
any
try to work
food?
hard.
Have you eaten?
No, I'll eat once you've all had your food. That's fine. Thank you.
What? Okay, fair enough. Gonna come back out.
Come out with a nice clean plate. Yeah. Everybody else is helping themselves. Ayla is like scoffing it down. Very uncivilized manner. Just like
Try and not watch.
it's like bits all over her face.
Ugh.
That's for Katie. Yeah.
So we all meet up. We're all.
Yeah, you guys are all having breakfast. Eventually, it looks like there is a young man. He looks to be maybe like early 20s. He wears like the uniform. He's kind of like awkwardly pulling on like a Harvest Guard tabard and like adjusting his belts and his breeches as he comes downstairs looking quite red in the face and is just like, morning, just straight out the door.
Jessup.
Huh? It's not Jessup.
Okay.
No, it's not Jessup. But you see this kind of like, awkward young man just like, good morning, and just heads out the door.
I'm just gonna look at Quill and be like, adult services.
Yes, yeah, definitely.
And then a few minutes later, Rosalina in this kind of like, little kind of like wrapped up nightgown kind of comes down, her hair all kind of all over the place. She's like, good morning, everybody. Was breakfast suitable? Was it well? Good?
How was your breakfast?
Very good, thank you. Yes, I had some before you all came downstairs. So,
Yeah.
Reld is a fantastic cook. She's very, very good.
She cooked it as well.
Yes, of course. Yes, she does. I am not very good at cooking. Alchemy, drinks, that I am very good with, but cooking, never my forte, unfortunately.
Well, pass on the compliments.
I absolutely will. If you have any spare coin that you wish to provide her, I will give it to Reld's name.
I'm gonna.
She's saving
rummage
up.
through my platinums. I'm just gonna put them all out on the table.
Well,
Rosalina doesn't seem that bothered by it. Like, she just is like, yeah, that's, she's seen this money before.
Yeah, I have a silver.
I will pass that on to Reld. Thank you very much.
The
sir.
shiniest
Thank you
one
very
I've
much.
got.
you mentioned that Rel, she had sorcery powers before, did you? I can't remember.
No.
I don't think so.
Okay.
No.
Must have been a dream I had.
I am an acolyte of Sayana.
No, I think it was. I misremembered. it was last night.
Possibly. I mean, if you require any spell services, I have some that I can offer. There's also a rather grumpy gnome in town that you can go and seek if you wish. His name is Neville. He runs a small shop and he's very grumpy. He's all right to me, I think, because I am halfling. He sees me as a fellow small folk. So,
Well, we'll say that you sent us.
of course, yes, by all means, please do.
Good. Well,
Well, have a lovely day. And she goes back and
Thank you.
she heads back over and starts like attending to various matters. You see her pull out like a big ledger and she starts writing down in it.
You know what? I might have a holiday here now and again. I was never thinking about coming back down, but now this is quite nice. I'm getting used to it.
wow.
It's a nice
Somewhat.
place.
Not the toilets, I will say,
What's a holiday?
where you pay money to go somewhere else.
You mean just adventuring?
Yes, but usually it's like a package deal, and we get like included drinks and things.
Is this something posh people do?
I don't know otherwise.
Okay, yes, it is. It is then. Yes.
So, what would you like to do?
Well, I mean, I think it makes sense that we go to Mrs. Scarecrow to inquire about that wagon job.
Why don't we just do the job?
Yeah.
Good point. But I do have an idea that if we are to spend more time with each other, traveling all the way to Gold Throne, maybe we should keep stock of how much gold we actually have. Lucius, you've spent a lot of gold. You've spent a lot of money in just the 5 or 6 days we've known each other.
Yes, let the money flow.
Well, but how much do you actually have? Are you able to cover Arvel's costs alone?
No, unfortunately not. Otherwise I would have.
Right.
I have 262 gold pieces.
Ellis is like, sorry, how much do you have?
262.
That is your money.
Well, yes, it's my traveling fund.
Traveling. So it was.
I wouldn't take my.
And you already gave like 50 gold to the Wild Elves.
Yes,
You had over 300 gold on the airship.
yes. Any more would be so heavily weighted, and does my back in.
Of course.
Lucius, you probably don't want to advertise how much money you have.
Well, Bertie asked me.
Well, he asked, but I'm just saying, like this morning when you laid all your money out on the table,
Yes.
you don't want to do that a lot, especially.
Well, the bar owner didn't mind.
She's fine, but there might be people who kind of see that
Yes.
and want that and take
Well, I
that.
don't blame them. There's a lot of nice coinies.
Yeah, so keep it hidden. Otherwise, you're going to get stabbed and your money will be taken.
Oh, we don't want that, do we?
No.
It'd be really inconvenient getting
You're-
that back from Daddy.
I mean, it
You're
did
a
almost
bit-
happen twice.
Yeah, you're a bit too open with how much money you have.
But wealth is like it's an extension of one's being, is it not?
Okay.
If you don't have wealth, then, what do you have, really?
But
Yes. It's fine. It's not. I didn't mean to be
I'm
rude.
sure we had this conversation before about how you should have secret wealth. Like, just hide it.
I put 2 coins in the other pocket.
I think it would be safer for all of us.
Yeah.
More.
Secret wealth.
Here, Sentry, you hold it.
No, Lucius, it's your
Big
money.
bulging pile of
no,
pounds
It's
of
your
coins.
money. You keep it.
But
Just
secret.
Just stop showing it to everyone.
Right,
You're gonna attract the wrong kind of attention, and that's bad.
right. But when I want more wine,
Then 1 or 2 coins, yes.
Then just pay the
Take it
exact
out,
amount.
take it out
Exact
one
amount.
at a time.
the exact amount.
There's no need to dump all your gold onto the table and count
I
it.
find it easier to count when I put it all out, you see?
But then people are gonna see it and stab you
Right.
for it.
I will absolutely bear that in mind from now on. No.
You don't want to bleed on your clothes, do you?
Huh?
No, you don't.
No, absolutely not. Terrible thing.
Yeah, so hide your money. Exact
Gotcha.
change.
Absolutely. Yes,
Safety first.
safety first.
Otherwise,
With that conversation done,
Yes.
do you want to go back to your original point, Quill?
260. Well, I have 25.
Oh, you poor thing.
It's fine.
Do you want some more?
No,
Yeah.
no. This is exactly what we just spoke about.
I have 30.
30, and how much do you have?
about the same.
That same. So we have combined.
So Ayla looks around. Is like, well, hang on a minute. What are we combining everyone's money now?
No.
Because like I've got my money.
Well,
That's my money.
That's good to know. I'm just trying to figure out exactly how much we have in order to eventually get to the point where we need to pay for Arvel's fixing cost.
Well, we found a bunch of stuff on those elves, right? Can we sell some of that stuff and like begin making group money?
A group fund. Yes.
That's a rather personal thing to do.
Well, it is.
Or we can just
We could go
start
on.
splitting everything we find evenly.
Well, I mean, we're all going to pay individually for Arvel's cost, aren't we? I mean,
Or what
we
We
all
can
owe
all
him.
chip in, yeah.
Or what if we do this job and that 200 gold goes towards his leg?
Fair enough.
An act of
That's
charity.
an admirable.
It's
adventure.
300. It was 300 gold for the.
But it's a start.
Yeah, just that was the DM.
If we do
clarification.
both jobbies,
Then we have 100 gold left over.
So before I ask you what you want to do, which one you want to go after, the other option, just to remind you, is you did also pass that chasm with the ruins.
Yeah,
It's
I've
true.
been meaning to
Do
ask
you
you
have any
about that.
plans on going back there or
what?
looking to do it?
I mean,
they
I-
passed a chasm with a ruined town at the bottom,
Dwellenden.
which Dwellenden, which is rumored to have a lot of treasure, but most people that go down there don't often come back.
oh,
And we spoke to Arvel about it, and I can't remember exactly what
He
said.
basically said, well, you asked him like something along the lines of like, would anybody in the town fund you guys to go in it? And he basically said, yeah, sure. If you find the right person, they'll probably fund you to go in there in exchange for percentage of the treasure and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Or you can just go in it and take it all for yourselves.
I like the flashback has got the accent. That's nice.
Or, or the other option is we leave Arvel because he said he was sending for money.
Yeah, you could also do that. So, what would you like to do?
I mean, we're planning on using that trade route at some point to get to Gold Throne. So I think either way we're going to encounter that problem. But if we encounter it on the way to Gold Throne, we won't be able to come back and get the 250 gold.
I'd be quite interested to explore these earthen tunnels. They sound fascinating. Some kind of burrowing animal. I've never encountered one before.
There are strange creatures around here, I will say that. Very interesting.
Do you mean boars?
Birds.
Which ones are they?
It was when we got into the town. It was a big, very big actually, tusks.
Ah,
Yeah, that was a boar.
very interesting.
Very
Very unusual.
well,
And
I
talking
quite
birds.
liked it.
Very strange.
no, quite common. Thank you.
So, sounds, well, what do you guys want to do?
Rosalina,
You call over to her. Yes.
do you provide laundry services?
Yes, of course. We can clean clothes if you wish.
I'll go any dirty place as long as it gets clean afterwards.
Yes, of course. You can clean clothes, repair things if you need them.
Chasm does sound fascinating.
I mean,
It's like a three-way split vote right
so I'm saying the wagons, you're saying the earthen tunnels, you're saying the chasm, which we don't know anything about and could be filled with deadly dangers and horrible delights.
yeah.
Ayla's like, all of them sound like there's stuff to fight and treasure. So
All of them sound
How
good.
about
I abstain.
Well-
Sentry, what do you want to do?
I think it's up to you now, Sentry. 250 gold in wagons, 200 gold in earthen tunnels, or a deep, dark, dangerous, dying cave
Full of treasure, potentially.
full of treasure
And monsters to
potentially,
fight.
monsters and things that would kill us very easily, and we've got no information about it whatsoever.
And maybe
Not
guardians.
to sway your vote whatsoever.
I mean, the potential for guardians down there could be interesting.
That's,
I could find out some information about what happened to Solwyn if there might be
that's
some.
priceless, Birdie.
Right.
Albeit we know it's
But-
dangerous.
I'm glad you're thinking on all my terms that knowledge is just, you can't put a price on it.
Well, you can.
Ayla's just like,
It's an old dwarven town. There could be vital information.
Yeah, well, they could be things that could kill us very, very quickly and easily.
what do you think's making these wagons disappear, Quill? It's not like fairies that are just vanishing them away as a trick, is it?
Yeah.
It could be.
It's probably bandits that will also want to kill you.
And also, what do you think is making burrowing holes and eating livestock? Probably some large kind of creature that has fangs.
Let's face it, everything's full of stuff that wants to kill us. That's the lowlands.
I mean,
I've got it.
a lot of people have gone to Dwalenden and not come back. Only a few people have been to the markets, the wagons, and they didn't come back. And only cows didn't come back from the urban tunnels.
But we're
So-
not people.
What do you want to do, Sentry? Ayla looks at you.
I'd like to go to the chasm.
Chasm!
Yes.
It's like,
Yes.
Chasm!
Real adventure.
Well, that's just grand. We'll go to the chasm then.
Ayla's
Thank
like,
you, Sentry.
we should buy some rope before we go.
We should also probably talk to Windy Gail. She might know. She's a dwarf.
With that, we're going to go on break.
Okay.
With a decision made. Yay! We'll see you in a short 5 minutes. We're going to take a quick break, play some ads, and then we'll be back to explore the Chasm of Dwalenden.
Get ready for the final episode of Aerois.
I will just leave you.
Ah, there's a camera in my way. Hello. Welcome to High Rollers. We're back after the break. The party have made a decision to head back to a chasm that they'd recently passed on their previous journeys that lead to a ruined town. Mark was somewhat expecting this, but there will be some improvisation involved, as is the true nature of the Dungeon Master.
I wasn't expecting it.
An open world dungeon master.
So, yeah. So, you all head out of the Brazen Heart Tavern with the idea of heading back to Dwalenden, which is about just under a day's travel. Knowing the way back and everything else, you can probably get there in about a day. What would you like to do first? Ayla recommends buying some rope, because you know it is a chasm, you will have to climb down it.
Can we also speak to the Scarecrow about like maybe gosh,
Anything
some kind
you've
of
heard
deal?
about there and stuff? Or about, do you want to get a deal?
Yeah, so
Okay.
so because obviously we're not gonna get money per se
Yeah.
on this, like bartering some sort of like treasure finding or monster clearing out deal.
Well, so here's what I will tell you is this. If you want to go to a third party, you can probably secure some sort of payment in exchange for doing it, or providing supplies. However, they will probably expect a percentage of the treasure you find, or specifically like, if you find this, you have to give it to us. If you go on your own without like some sort of deal, whatever you find, if there is anything, is yours without question. You basically like there is, nobody's going to try and claim it. Nobody's going to try and say you owe us part of that.
It's more that if there's people in this town who can give us like big sums of money, because we're doing this to get money for our role. So
Well, I mean, we probably find stuff to sell
yeah,
anyway.
it's
But
people in this town have enough funding to.
could we speak to Windy Gail anyway to see if she knows anything about the place?
Sure, if you want to go and speak to her. Yeah, I just wanted to make you aware that you would know that if you go to her and say, "Hey, we're thinking of going to investigate in this chasm. Will you pay us to do it?" Then she'll say, "Yeah." If you give, she'll probably ask for it on behalf of the Harvest Guard. Like the money would go to the Harvest Guard.
Yeah.
But yeah, she'll probably expect a percentage back of whatever you find.
Does she know anything?
Yeah, you can go and find her. You find her probably out on the outer fields, probably just, about 10, 20 minutes out of town, where she appears to be. You make your way over there. The sun is slow to rise, so it's still very cold, quite overcast. And as you make your way out, you can see almost all of the farms and fields have been harvested already. So the grains, the vegetables are mainly all just been pulled up, and the fields are just ready to basically wait until spring now, or until the new year. You see Windy you see Windy with a small group of Harvest Guard, including Jessup, the young man that you'd met on the gate guard before, and they are checking over the body of what appear to be like very large wolves, oversized wolves, like giant, and they're basically like checking over the bodies, and they appear to be hacking it up into like cutting it for fur and cutting it for meat and stuff like that. She kind of gives you a curt nod. Well, hello.
Hi.
Good to see you all up this morning.
What's the story with this one then?
A couple of the boys found these dire wolves out at night. They were trying to attack one of the local farmsteads, so they took care of it. Now we're just seeing what we can claim back. These furs will be great for the long night. Wolf meat's not the best, but I'm sure somebody in town will buy it. So.
Oh, so you are to sell it yourself in the town that you protect?
Well, Harvest Guard doesn't... We gotta pay these boys something. They all earn their coin fighting monsters and beasties and everything else. I mean, Harvest Guard tries to provide them a warm bed and a dry roof, but we try and make sure people get paid too, and, well, we need to fund that somehow. Merrick's purse doesn't overflow with coin, so...
Oh, I see. Okay.
Have to be self-reliant down here in the lowlands, Mr. Aarakocra.
That's true. These guys have a plan. An idea of something.
All right.
Hi.
Well, let's hear it.
We'd like to go to the Chasm Dwellenden.
I don't know no Dwalin Den, but you talking about the chasm south of the town?
Yes.
Ooh, if that's what y'all be wanting to do, then sure be it. I mean, there's been a few folk that have come back down this way from Gold Throne looking to try and dig up that old place, but yeah, by all means, I hope y'all are ready. It's an old place, and a lot of folks have never come back.
Yeah, it must be filled with terrifying things.
Well, I don't know. I've never been.
No? But it must be. Really big, scary. No?
Like I said, I'm not going to throw away my Harvest Guard on some fool adventure. We've got a job to do here in the town, and I mean, maybe there's monsters in there, but they've never come out. They've never attacked the town, so we just kind of leave it be.
Oh, we heard that people have been there and, well, they didn't come back.
Yeah, sure. Treasure huntings from the city,
Right.
foreign folk, people from the Sky City, they come looking down for old founding age relics, but I don't pay them no mind. They're not my people, and as far as I'm concerned, they must know the risks if they're going down somewhere like that. But sure be it, I'm sure that there's plenty of treasures and all sorts down there. If that's what you're looking for, I'm sure you can find something.
Well, we were wondering because, I mean, we're mostly doing these things to help our friend. We need to raise the funds to fix his leg. So would you be interested in any kind of, like, finder's fee or treasure share or anything like that?
She thinks for a minute. Well, I mean, I'm sure that there's bound to be plenty of stuff we can use down there. Good steel or maybe jewels or weapons, that sort of thing. She thinks for a minute. What exactly would you be looking for from us, though? I mean, y'all could I'm not the type. Sure, I could tell you right now. Sure, I'll take 20% off your pop. Go get it for me. But what am I getting out of this? It seems like y'all could just go down there. You want an advance of gold?
It's more that we're doing these things to help raise the funds to fix our friend's leg.
Right.
We need 300 gold.
Right.
So actually thinking about it, why are we going down there? Why are we not taking the jobs? Like the farm with the creatures.
Well,
Very good question, and one I've been wondering this entire time. Sentry, you had a good idea for it, didn't you?
I originally suggested the farm, just saying.
I originally suggested literally everything but.
Well, I mean, the chasm is gonna have treasures. You want gold, treasure is gold, so you can sell what you find, or you can trade it and get money if that's what you're looking for. But yeah, I mean, and who knows what you could find? I mean, we don't know what's down there. I guess it's a gamble. You might find some magic relic. You might find some hidden knowledge or spells or something like that. Or you might just find death. I don't know.
Maybe.
Or you can do the jobs for me and Merrick. I mean, but
Hidden relics.
what I was trying to get at, girl, was if you want gold, and you want to go down this chasm, I mean, you'll find treasure down there. You don't need, I don't know why you would need us.
There's nothing down there that you would be interested in or looking for.
Well, I don't know. That's the thing. I'm not a historian. I ain't no treasure hunter. My job is to look after this town and these people. And as far as I know, nothing's come out of that chasm that threatens that. So I got no business with it. But if y'all want to go down there and sought for gems and gold and relics, by all means.
Well, that sounds like a done deal then. Thank you, Mr. Scarecrow. Continue hacking away at the wolf, I suppose.
Sure. Well, like I said, if you still, I mean, me and Merrick still need hands, so it's up to y'all what you want to do.
It's fine. We'll nip on down to the chasm, recover a load of treasures, get lots of money, and then we'll have plenty of time to recover the supplies and deal with the cow disappearance.
Sounds like y'all earn a nice tasty paycheck if y'all do all that. Good luck.
There we go. Tip top.
Stars be with you.
Sentry, how much do you want to go into this cavern?
I mean, it's a chance for me to, reclaim a piece of something that I believe is lost to me. Everything here is also like different. If I can go to a place that was, flourishing when, before the Sundering, then maybe I could find some information about, what happened and, it's...
Fine.
It's really admirable, wouldn't it, Quill?
It would be great.
Ayla looks over and is like, yeah, if Sentry's looking for something she's lost and trying to find stuff, like, I'm happy to help with that. And it sounds like if there's treasure down there, we can still get paid, so...
A real adventure.
In that case, Sentry, then we will head to the deep dark cavern with dangerous delights inside.
Did we get the rope?
Did anyone grab the rope on the way?
DM question.
Yes.
So one of the things you said that I looted from the airship was climber's tools.
Uh-huh.
But I can't find it in D&D Beyond to say what.
It's Climber's
actually is.
Kit, it's
Climber's
called it.
Kit.
Yeah, it's called a Climber's Kit in D&D Beyond, so...
Okay.
think.
Thank you.
You might just need to search under the add item
I just
stuff.
want to see what.
So if you just put climbers, it should show up.
Oh, it came up with loads of things.
But that's generally, it doesn't include rope. It's generally pitons and like hooks and stuff like that.
Suction cups.
Yeah.
No suction cups.
No?
No, not Mission Impossible style.
Possible. Damn. Okay.
You can have that in an upcoming project we're working on. Yeah, I think Ayla has 50 foot of rope because she has an explorer's pack. So she's got 50 foot.
Special pitons, boot tips, gloves, and a harness.
There you go.
You got a harness but no rope.
Yeah.
I can levitate.
You can levitate, but not everybody can. So if you want to, Windy's like, if y'all need supplies, you're best heading over to the Dale Guild Company. They generally have most of the generic supplies in town.
Thank you, Gail.
Good luck.
Let's go.
Let's go there then, and
Okay.
better be worth it.
I'm sorry, I know, understand this reason is quite selfish of me.
No,
but
I
it's,
understand.
It's the betterment of all races. If we could discover some hidden relic from the Sundering about your kind, bring them back. Think of the wealth and the prosperity and bring back an ancient race.
And the knowledge.
Also, treasure.
Also, lots of treasure. Anything to
The
extend your life any further.
Yeah, cool.
The Dale Guild Company is a small building near the entrance to Rose Hall. It's a fairly sizable wooden building, and outside it has a symbol of a kind of valley with gold coin, sort of like hovering over the valley, basically. And it says on a sign outside, Dale Guild Company Provisions, Rose Hall Branch. Stepping inside, it is a very beautifully arranged general store with shelves stacked full of lanterns and casks of oil. You can see like dried meats, just general kind of supplies for any kind of traveler or anybody moving around. You can also see at the back there is a locked cabinet, which you can see has got thick strips of metal and or etchings of runes engraved into it. And in the cabinet, there is a bundle of arrows, a cloak, and various gemstones, all in this very well-made, you assume a magically enchanted cabinet. Behind it is a very tall half-elven man with long brown hair that he's tied into like a tight bun at the top of his head. He's wearing very well-kept, clothing, a very fine tunic with a vest, high breeches, tall riding boots, and he's filing nails as you enter. And he looks up and he's like, "Oh, hello, welcome. I am Maximilian. Welcome to the Dale Guild Company Provisions. How may I be of service to you today? Not often we get such colourful travellers here in town."
Thank you.
Of course.
I am Lucius, Virin Elwin and Ernesto of Gusthaven.
Hello, I am Maximilian. Maximilian Elias. Welcome.
What a wonderful name.
Thank you.
It's nice to hear a good elven name.
He looks, he is very much a human. Half-elven, sorry, he is half-elven. He's like, thank you, yes. Elias is a family name. Maximilian is more from my human father.
Do we know anything about the Dale Guild provisions? You said this was the Rose Hill branch. Is there more around the world?
Are you asking this to the fellow? Or are you asking Mark Humes, the Dungeon
That was
Master?
from my memory.
From your memory? Yeah, you would probably have heard of them. The Dale Guild Company is a company of dwarves that trek all over Aerois, basically serving as kind of like mercenaries. They're sort of mercenaries and traders, mercenaries and merchants combined. They often go from place to place, they buy up supply goods, but then they also provide like bodyguard protection services, they escort caravans, and they set up these little trading posts that then all feed into each other and they kind of supply each other as well. Oh. And then they sell trade goods to everyone else.
So they manage the trade routes from hither to thither.
Yeah, basically, yeah. They can be found all over the place, basically. Okay. And they're kind of like franchises where like an independent person can buy ownership of one, and they're supported by the Dale Guild Company, but they provide profits to them and et cetera, et cetera.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can I read the runes on the thing on the
They are not writing, they are arcane in nature. They do not say anything. You have a feeling they are some sort of protective ward. How can I be of service? What are you looking for?
We have taken interest recently into the Chasm, not far from here, Dwalin.
Dwalindel, yes, I've heard of it, yes.
We plan on going down there to find whatever we can find.
Oh, well, quite the adventurous lot it would seem then, yes. Well, best of luck with you. I'm assuming you need provisions and supplies?
We'll need some rope. That's for certain.
Yes, of course.
Do we have everything else we need? Do you have healing potions or anything like that?
I have 2 healing potions that I have available. I have rope, climber's kits, lanterns if you require light. We do have some more esoteric items in the cabinet behind me, enchanted arrows and a cloak of protection, but they are quite expensive, I should warn you. Yes, I can provide all of these things if you require. How much rope do you think you may need? One for each of you, or?
Well, you know of Dwalin then. Is it deep?
From what I've heard, and I have not been myself, my husband Boric has. He travelled there with the Dale Guild Company to investigate it, and they decided it was not worth investigating. They estimate it to be about 200, perhaps 250 feet deep down to the lower levels, so you will need at least that much rope. Climbers' kits will certainly make the journey much easier for you as well, and I would hope that you have some sort of light. Whilst there is light from the surface, it does get darker in the recesses. So.
Right, we should get a few lanterns for the normie eyes.
I have one.
Thank you.
That would be...
Well, in that case, 4 lanterns?
I have one already.
4 lanterns.
Oh, let me just...
No, wait, you can see in the dark.
Yes.
You can see in the dark.
I think
you can't.
Only with sentry.
I can
Only with
conjure light.
So, let me see here. So you'll need at least 5, that will be 5 gold for 250 feet of rope. And then you require how many lanterns, sorry, my good friend?
Does Ayla have
3?
dark vision?
2.
Yes, she does, yes.
2.
2.
2.
2.
2. Now, would you prefer the bullseye or hooded lanterns?
Which one looks fancier?
Oh, the bullseye.
Oh, absolutely. 2 bullseye, please.
Well, that will be 20 gold.
And how much are the hooded lanterns?
They are 5 gold each.
Hooded lanterns, please.
Very well. So that will be another 10, so 15 currently. You will require some oil. That will cost you, well, I'll throw the oil in for free.
Thank
What a lovely man. Thank you, Maximilian.
This is my pleasure.
The elven in him.
I must admit, I'm quite jealous of you adventuring sorts. My husband is always speaking of
Why don't you come along?
No, I couldn't possibly. I have work to do, I'm afraid. As much as I am interested, but do come back and tell me how it goes. I'll be interested to hear.
That's the aim.
So, 15 gold all told for 2 hooded lanterns and 250 feet of rope. Do you have backpacks or requirements to carry all of these items in? Let me cost in a backpack for you then as well. That would be another 2 gold. So we're talking 17 gold in total for your supplies.
Climbing kits.
Ah, yes, climbing kits as well, if you require those. Now, they are 25 gold each. Lots of expensive leather and steel.
I have one already, but I can give it to someone else because I can levitate.
She can levitate.
Yes, Air Ganassia, I suppose. Yes, I've heard that you have power over levitation and flight, that sort of
I
thing.
suppose we need potentially one person to establish the rope situation, and then the others can use the rope. So we only really need one.
I think.
So you won't be requiring a climber's kit?
I don't think so, Maximilian. As much as I'd like to buy one.
Oh, well,
Thank you.
They will always be available if you do need it.
Now tell me about this cloaky.
Ah, yes, a fine work, all the way from Gold Throne, from an enchanted there. It offers one, when it is struck by fire or blows, it hardens and provides some sort of rigidity. It offers a mediocrum of protection to those who wears it. It is 1,000 gold, I'm afraid.
Is that all? Wow, I was expecting far more. Very reasonable rate.
Well, thank you. Yes, we try and keep it at cost with small profit for the Dale Guild Company.
Do you accept Gusthaven loans?
I'm afraid not.
You don't?
No, unfortunately not. It's Gusthaven does pass over, but it's so infrequent that it is difficult to cash in on such matters.
I assume you've heard of the Elnasters.
Indeed, I have, of course, yes. Not to a great degree. I understand that they are involved in some sort of electrum trade.
Well, yes.
Ethereum, my apologies.
Many, many generations, yes. quite
Oh,
wealthy.
marvellous. Yes, very good.
I'm sure it would be in the best interests of trade to loan such a cloak, and my daddy would happily pay you with interest.
I'm afraid that for many items, I would happily agree a loan basis. The cloak is a considerable wealth. It is unfortunately not available for any loans. Simply, it is just too expensive. I would consider taking promises of payment in exchange for some other things, but not the cloak, I'm afraid.
Maximilian, you're clearly good at your job.
Why, thank you.
I don't really know what jobs are, but you're good at yours, and that's what's good.
Well, that obviously is of great importance for me to hear you say that. Thank you.
Not a problem. So
Quill, you catch him as like Lucius turns away, he rolls his eyes like
Yeah.
this fucking guy.
You mentioned that people have been to Dwellin Den before and they decided it was not worthwhile.
Yes, the Dale Guild Company. They travelled there. They travelled all over the place. They thought that perhaps it might be, something to delve into, find some relics or treasures or something like that. However, they simply decided against it. There are easier ways to make money around the world, after all.
So they never actually went into the place.
No. They estimated that it would be a considerable climb. It's not the sort of place that a large force. The Dale Guild Company is quite a large regiment. It is not, a small number of individuals. It is something like that. Chasm is, I think, more suited to folks like yourselves, small numbers.
Makes sense.
The Dale Guild is more used to providing large number regiments-sized forces to protections of towns and cities, or dealing with, infestations of bandits or monsters, that sort of thing.
Well, a man who prizes such glamorous material wealth, surely there must be something in there that you would be interested in?
I'm afraid that I know of it. I know that it is a wealthy dwarven town. Now, if you happen to find things there that you think would be of value to me, I will happily buy them off you. And if we wish to, we could perhaps exchange the cloak for something that you find in there of equivalent value. I would most certainly. I may even, if you struggle to sell anything here in Rose Hall, I may be able to arrange the sale of the item up in Gold Throne for you.
Through the franchise.
And that way we can ensure that you get a good price for any items or sundries that you recover.
A very useful man to know, Maximilian.
I am indeed. Would there be anything else? Healing potions you mentioned? I have 2. I have 50 gold each.
Can I trade some things?
What do you have to trade, my dear Aganassi?
I have black leather armor and a dagger and furs.
Well, certainly there would be no harm. Is this them? And he gestures at, I'm assuming you pull it out of like your bags and
them on
stuff.
the counter.
You have to pull it out of like sacks and bags that you've been carrying with you, or like taking it off things. He's like, well, the leather armor and the dagger, certainly I could buy. I'm sure I can sell those on. I would have to, they look used and not in great condition. I would perhaps pay 7 gold for the leather armor and the dagger. The furs, there's a good amount here. Those could easily be sold. I would say another 3 gold. I'll give you 10 gold for the lot.
Sure.
Sold.
Well, we'll take that off the price of the other things, surely, Nova?
He hands Nova the gold pouch.
Nova, and I'm whispering this to her, do we have use for the Ethereum core?
You can pry that out of my dead cold hands.
Right. Well, I think that will be everything.
17 gold to pay. I can't interest you in the healing potions.
How much? There's one.
50 gold each.
50.
I have 2.
I would get 2. Is there a discount for 2?
Buy one, get one free?
Maximilian.
I will sell them 2 for 90.
Well,
That's quite reasonable. Unfortunately, I have to decline. But thank you. Could you put them all in the backpack, please? Excellent. Thank you. I'll get the gold out.
17 gold, please.
well, we may as well begin the group fund here.
And I'll happily pay for it. It was my idea.
I will put forward 5.
Here you go, 17 gold.
He just takes the 17 of Lucius.
Oh, yeah.
My good man, keep your coins. Your friend has paid for it.
Yeah, okay. Thank you.
Puts it in his little register.
Oh, if you want to pay me your sum for the secret, then by all means.
Well, I wish you all the best of luck, and I do hope you return with some trinkets to sell. The Dale Guild Company is always interested in buying.
I hope we return.
We shall return.
Oh, Nova, show that spear tip to Maximilian.
Hi, again.
Hello.
I have this, and I show him the spear tip.
How quaint. Crude, form of jewelry. Wild elf, perhaps? He looks at Ayla, and she, rolls her eyes.
It's magic-y.
Oh, well, I'm afraid that I'm not a trained arcanist myself. You'll need to speak to Navel if you wish for that sort of matter. He is a more trained magician than I. If you wish to sell it once I'm aware of its properties, then...
Well, do you not want to buy it? It could be anything. It could be a mystery.
Quill,
Certainly.
Shut up.
I will gladly buy it for 100 gold.
It could be worth far
pretty
more,
good.
Quill.
Well, it could be worth far less. It could be worth 100 gold.
it is a mystery.
I am
to me.
aware of the chance, but I would, without knowing its abilities, I will pay 100 gold for it.
It's a mystery to be unlocked.
It better be worth more than 100 then.
We're going to find so much more than that in the chasm.
I'm just going to whisper to Quill, we don't have to tell him when we know what it is, when we know what it is.
That's true. Okay.
I'm not going to say anything. Okay.
Well, we'll see you if we return.
Okay, very well. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Maximilian.
Are you guys going to head off?
Yeah.
All right. We'll skip the day's travel. It takes you the better part of a day. You rest outside. Nothing happens. You take some rest. And in the morning, you arrive at the edge of this deep chasm. It's like a wound has been torn in the earth itself. The jagged edges of the chasm like scabs crusting over and kind of stretching out onto the grassy plains around it. The chasm is deep and echoey as you look down into it. Dark abyss seems to stretch on. You can see the vaguest tips of buildings just in the little remnants of light that manage to hit the edges of it. But because the angle of the chasm as the sun rises, it's just bouncing off the side. You're just nomming your baby
No,
doll
it's
there.
I think now that he's got a description of it.
Now he's like,
I don't know
oh,
what
this is
the
a
chasm's
bad
like."
idea.
This is a terrible idea.
So yes, so that is what you see before you, and it does indeed look like a very deep
chasm that needs to be climbed down.
Yeah,
There is the walls are natural rock, so there is lots of handholds, but it does look like a deep and lengthy climb, which would make it quite difficult.
1, 2, Nova. Looks
Hello.
like the climbing kit fits you the best.
Okay.
So how about we strap you in, give you the rope, and you find a good descending point.
But I can levitate.
Even better. You levitate down, tie the rope to something very, very stable, secure.
But that doesn't. I don't need the climbing kit. You can have it.
You could use the climbing kit to secure a point for the rope while levitating.
Okay. Do you want the spiky boots?
Spiky boots.
So the climbing kit comes with
They almost definitely won't fit my talons.
pitons,
Yes.
as in the. So I could use that. Boot tips, gloves, and a harness.
He's got bird feet.
Won't fit.
Will they fit
Oh,
Ayla?
actually,
I think it's one size fits all.
Yeah.
at the same time,
They're just boot tips. They just go on the boots.
Oh.
Like I could put them on, but if Nova can just fly down, then she should just secure the rope.
I'm just saying that if other people want the harness and the other bits, I'm like, what is
I'll
this?
wear
And
that.
shakes it.
I'll wear it.
Okay.
at the same time, how far can you actually send Echo?
Let me see. Let me look at my notes.
You
I think he can go pretty far. The sight is only out to 100 feet, I think. Because it's the same as the Find Familiar spell.
Nova.
So you could send that around to also look for a place at the same time as Nova. Or send it into the cavern, have a little scout around, look around, see if you can find anything.
Good
if you
spots,
can't, we'll
yeah.
just leave.
What do you mean just leave?
Well, if Echo can't find anything,
Okay, so when it's within 100 feet of you, you can see through its eyes, but anything beyond that, you can't.
Okay,
So
yeah.
Echo can go and look. He can fly down there. He can go the whole way down, but essentially wouldn't be able to use his visuals.
yeah.
It would have to just rely on him, and he can't speak. He can just beep and boop. So he can answer questions. If you give him yes or no questions, he can answer them.
Okay, fair enough. Well, in that case,
All right.
see ya. See ya.
But where am I securing this? Just
That's the point, you're going to find it.
Somewhere near the top where you can actually latch onto.
Yeah.
you could just.
So Ayla can put like the first piton in at the top, and ties the rope to it. You know, uses her strength, ties a fairly secure rope. Hands like this five 50-foot hempen ropes together, so it's like a 250 rope. Coils it all up, hands it to you. It's like ugh. It's like super heavy.
I don't really know what I'm doing.
You go down.
You go down, and then when you find like bits that look stable, you hammer in the rock and tie the rope.
I'm a scientist, not a geologist.
I'm gonna, while she's talking, just pull out 4 orbs of light and just kind of spin them around her head.
It's either that or one of us has to climb down, which is
Okay,
dangerous.
Just don't shout at me when you fall to your death because I don't know what I'm doing.
It won't be dangerous at all. There's going to be nothing down there. I know I've said to the contrary multiple times, but
I'm not worried about that.
Oh.
I'm worried about not putting a piton in properly because I don't have the proper training. And then one of them falling out when you climb down and then you fall to your doom.
It's
Ayla's
easy,
put in the
Nova.
top one.
You just hit it really hard until it's in the rock.
Kim is
You
just
can
looking
do it
at her
just
strength
fine.
of -2.
And I'm saying you can do it just fine.
So are you not
and that's
going
my
down?
bardic inspiration.
Because right now, okay, that's your bardic, so you can give a
Okay.
d6.
Yeah. There you go.
You've got this. We believe in you.
Okay.
Don't kill us all.
You're dead.
Okay. So you are going to levitate down. So, okay, so you begin to levitate yourself. Now, you can't move left or right. You can only go up and down.
Yeah.
And then you're going to levitate your way down. And
precision.
you're trying to secure the rope as you go down
Yeah.
to points. Okay, give me a... The first thing you do is a perception check. So you begin floating down, and I'm going to look up something on levitate as well.
16.
16. So as you're floating down, you begin, you're like looking around, and Nova's looking for like areas where you know that like, you're kind of looking at like the mathematics of it and kind of going, okay, structurally this is the best angle to place it in. So now give me an athletics check.
Good luck, bardic inspiration.
Yeah, you can roll bardic inspiration after seeing it. So
Yeah, I have -2 strength, so that's a 2.
okay, plus
6.
8.
Okay.
8.
So you go down, you hammer in the pitons, you just make your way down, put the first one in. You find that there's a couple of points where like it plateaus almost, like very, very narrow plateaus, where you can basically, you don't even need to piton it in, you just guide the rope there and then people would actually be able to stand on it, and then the rope goes down a bit further. You secure a few more pitons, like finding the best places for them, securing them in, and then eventually the rope hits the bottom of a very dark, illuminated only by this kind of like little spinning.
They stop at 120 feet, by the way.
So it's pitch black.
Brilliant.
Do you have dark vision?
I don't, but I have a lantern and.
Okay, so you
oil.
pull your lantern out and you light that. At this point, the rest of you, do you call up to say, okay, so you kind of like, and you have to shout because it's 200, you're like, hey, rope secure!
I warn you though, I don't think I did a great job!
It sounds like she.
That's not meant gamey. I rolled bad.
She's not very confident in herself.
It sounds like
That's
you did a
why
very
I
good
allowed
job.
it,
Did
because
hear what
you
she
did
said?
state beforehand that you were nervous.
I did
I know
object
you
when
did.
we were ground
I know you
floor.
did.
She said she did
Okay.
a good job.
With the rate that you're descending, by the way, you pretty much use up the 10 minutes of levitate, so like that's gone. So you don't get that back until tomorrow morning.
Well, Quill,
Me first.
you're the lightest.
But that means I should go last.
Well, it's best to see if it's actually structurally sound first, right? If not, you can wing glide down.
With one wing.
Yes. Make like a this,
Okay.
like a parrot glide.
I don't think that will work.
Okay, so while you're having this conversation up on the top, Ayla's looking at you, just shaking her head. Nova, you turn on the lantern and you begin casting it around, and what you see
Bad.
is
So alone.
you see a large chasm stretching out. Most of it, however, it has been crushed or collapsed and can't actually be accessed. Most of it's so closed in, and you can see that there are whole buildings which have tilted on their side and filled the chasm, or buildings that have been crushed in by the chasm itself and kind of wedged it completely, that look just completely destroyed. They look like they've been shattered and broken. The section that you climb down into, you can see that there is a flat area that looks fairly level, with 3 buildings that look mostly intact. The chasm is wide and it looks very unstable. There are like sort of like angled pillars or angled buildings that occasionally you hear like crumbles and like dust begins to fall off. And somewhere in the darkness, your lantern only stretches out about 60 feet in this kind of cone. And somewhere in the darkness, you hear something move, like scrabbling away. At the top, Ayla just goes like, ugh, and starts climbing down.
Okay.
How does the rope look?
Ayla starts climbing down. Seems fine. Manages to make her way down. So it takes her a while. So it will take her approximately half speed, but moving twice. It'll take her a while to get down. It'll take her about, several minutes.
Okay.
What are the rest of you doing?
I'd like to go down.
Athletics check, please, Sentry.
Oh, here we go.
What's your athletics?
Athletics is +3.
Wow.
Okay.
So that's 11.
Okay, so Sentry, you start making your way down, and about halfway down, you reach a plateau, and then you start making your way down, and then you hear a plink, and one of the pitons flies out. You manage to hold yourself, and you can just kind of slowly descend the rest of it. But yeah, the rope has become a little bit unstable as you climb down, as you begin climbing your way
I guess
down.
we can see that as well.
You don't see it. You might hear like a ding. That's about it. Nova, what are you doing? So you can hear people beginning to come down the rope, but you definitely heard something moving. And you're not even sure where, because all the sound down here, you kick a rock and it echoes through this long, dark chasm. What's your immediate thing that you do when
I'm
you
just
hear the
gonna
noise?
back to the wall.
Okay, try and stay
next to
quiet.
the rope, just trying to stay
Give me a
quiet.
stealth check.
18.
Okay, so you just press yourself there, and you kind of still your breathing a little bit,
unsure of whatever might be out there. You don't hear it move again. Eventually, Ayla reaches down beside you.
I'm just gonna whisper to her. There is something down here.
She pulls the Howling Gale, her hammer out, and like steps to the side, looking around. She will also try and be quiet. You two, what are you doing? Quill and Lucius.
Please.
Oh no, after you.
Oh. No, you.
No. It'll be totally fine.
Okay, so you guys are having that
I'll pat
conversation.
him on the back and I'll cast guidance on him.
Okay.
So he gains a D4 to his next ability
For the next minute.
for the next minute. After you, please.
Okay.
Athletics check, please.
Okay.
Lucius. And you may add 1d4.
All right then. Where's
So you might as well roll the d4 with it. Or not.
There it is. 16 plus, what was it, acrobatics or athletics?
Athletics.
17.
17. So Lucius, you begin climbing your way down, and it's hard work, and your muscles start aching, but you're
Bring
kind of
the dancing lights back up to me.
dancing lights come up to you, illuminating around you, but the fear of falling kind of keeps your muscles from like failing you.
Okay.
And you climb your way down. As you get near it, you hear another ding, and the rope kind of sways for a moment. You let out a little noise.
I do a very wide stance on my legs suddenly.
You put your legs out and they balance you, and then you kind of crab shuffle the way down the rest of it. But the rope is now swaying pretty evenly, like at a point, like once you get down there, making it harder and harder for the next person to go. It's almost like going last was the worst thing you could do.
Is he 120 feet down from me?
Yes, yeah. He's making his way down. So why? What do you want to do?
I want to cast message on him.
Okay, yeah,
Just say-
you can say message.
Oh, hey, Lucius. How's it going? Is the rope okay?
No!
Oh.
That's it. That's the reply you get. Nova, when Lucius made out a yelp, you hear, and Sentry, you probably arrived down at the same point as Lucius kind of yelps out. Oops. You hear that shuffling again, and it echoes. It bounces across the stone walls, rustling around. You're not quite sure. It sounds like it's up high, but then it comes down low. You're not sure whereabouts it could be. Quill.
Come on, Quill, it'll be fine. You've fallen from higher before. It's going to be great. I'm going to cast guidance on myself, and I'm also going to cast heroism on myself.
Okay, so you're going to spend a first level spell slot to cast heroism.
Yeah. Gives me.
It gives you advantage against fear.
It gives me advantage against fear, and I also gain temporary hit points equal to my spellcasting modifier.
So that's your wisdom modifier.
So it gives me 2, apparently?
Yep.
Yeah.
2 per turn for as long as it lasts.
Yes.
And it lasts a minute, right?
Yes.
So it will end before you reach the bottom.
Okay, so I'll not put it on there in that case. And I will make my way down.
So you're casting heroism just for the RP of convincing yourself to go down.
No, to give myself... Well, I mean, it gives me temporary hit points, in case.
Yeah, okay, sure.
But also, yeah, sure, that and guidance.
Let me tell you this, if you fall from this height, those temporary hit points won't mean anything.
The guidance will help.
Sure.
Athletics.
Yep.
17.
17. So you make your way down, and knowing that this rope is uneven, you kind of use your claws to like clutch in. You're going to be at disadvantage.
Oh, why do you speak? Why do you speak?
Fair. I've got a golden heart.
You lied earlier!
Is that a natural one then?
No, I've got 9 total now.
9 total. So
Am I still coming down the rope?
you aren't coming down the rope, and you begin to hear Birdie
Does
making
Birdie
his way
sit
down,
on
but you hear him with his one arm like
that rope?
he's like digging his feet in, and he's like. He's almost having to like drop himself and then like hold on,
Birdie.
using his claws to like lower himself down.
Birdie, stop it! Stop! You're shaking it far too much! Stop it!
Okay. Whilst you're making your way down, you begin to reach near the bottom, Lucius, but Quill, your arm is getting so tired already just from this climb. There is a moment where you slip. And as you do, you kind of put your full weight against like the rocks to try and hold you in, and you feel the top pin. And the rope begins to sail down. You crash into a plateau about halfway. You're going to take about 20 feet of falling damage. You're going to take about 6 points of damage as your body hits a plateau, which is still about 100 feet up from the bottom.
Okay.
The rope spools down. Lucius, you hear it, and you just like have to let go for like the last few feet, but Ayla basically kind of half catches you as you like land. So you land at the bottom,
Quill!
just as this rope basically.
Get ready to catch him!
Quill, you are about 100 feet up
Okay.
on a plateau just above this thing. As you hear Lucius's squeal and Quill's shout of cry, those of you who are downstairs already begin to see movement in the corner of your eyes. Can those of you, everybody roll initiative for me, please?
Oh my god.
Natural 20!
Nice.
On the stupidest roll ever.
So,
Pretty good.
Tree, Quill.
You always get lower initiative.
I get bad initiative, but high damage.
Slow but steady.
That was amazing. Alright.
You see me rolling.
Out of interest, of the 6 damage I took, would 2 of that be soaked by the temporary hit points?
It took too long for you to get down. Like by the time you reached the bottom, like a minute had already passed. It was like 10 minutes to climb your way down, really.
Okay.
I am so.
Sorry.
It's your idea.
I know. I feel terrible.
Yeah, how many Tarrasques? Loads. Okay.
3.
So, Sentry, initiative.
5.
Quill.
5 total. You haven't added your initiative 6.
Oh, I haven't, have I? 6, yes.
6.
14.
Nova.
23.
Lucius.
20.
And Ayla has
Hi, damage.
15.
Quote of the episode.
Hi, damage!
Episode title.
Mother
Hi, damage.
Demid? Can you type that? I'm not sure how you type it, so it still sounds like hi,
and then-
Demid.
Yeah, with U's instead.
Okay, so those of you who are on the ground,
Metagaming it already.
Yeah.
out of everybody, because you don't have Quill down there with you, let's make a stealth check for these guys properly. Who has passive perception above 14?
Nope.
It's on the left.
9.
Damn it.
None of you.
Well,
Great. I'll just put those minis back.
we're gonna die.
I think we're fine.
You are up high. You're about 100 feet up still.
And I can't, 100 feet up, but like, have they got light down there?
Have you got
I'm
any
guessing if
casting
Lucius
lights?
I would
recasts
have
it, yeah.
to move.
You have to keep casting it, don't you?
I could
But
move
you,
60
you lit
feet
a
at
lantern,
time.
didn't you?
Yeah, but they last only minutes, so you just
can
keep
just-
constantly putting them up. 'cause
Yeah,
they're a
okay.
cantrip.
Nova has a.
I haven't done it.
Oh, yeah, Nova has a lantern, so yeah, you can see it. But again, you're like up, you've just landed. I'd say that
Okay,
100
fair
feet, yeah, you're not going to be able to see these guys.
Hmm.
Sentry, I'm guessing you didn't have it.
You're too
So,
busy
Nova,
trying not to fall.
Yeah.
you hear scuttling, and you can sense that there are figures moving, possibly towards you, possibly trying to get around you. What do you want to do? You can't see them, the dark, like you're swinging the lantern around, but there is too many like awkward shapes of stone kind of hiding
Yeah, I
these
think
figures.
she'd know, given how unstable it looks, she'd know not to just blast it around them. So I think she's going to ready an action.
Okay, and what is the readied condition?
That if something attacks her, she is going to cast Green Flame Blade.
Green flame blade. Okay,
Green Flame Blade.
and you don't want to move
I'm going to stay with my...
with the group.
Yeah, I'll stay with the group.
Okay, Lucius.
Man, you're a
What about you? Lucius.
I would like to cast Blade Ward on myself instinctively.
Okay, so your action is you cast Blade Ward on yourself.
Yes.
Would you like to move anywhere?
I will move behind Sentry.
Okay.
Bam.
Sentry, you got this.
Rushing out of the darkness that you hadn't spotted them from. They move with a predatory speed as they merge out. 4 human-shaped figures. Their bodies gaunt and very, very skeletal, but still like greenish flesh attached to their body. They come sprinting out.
Sprinting, they can do that?
Yeah, they
They're
come.
falling to pieces?
No, these are not skeletons. I'm using skeleton miniatures, but they are not skeletons.
Okay.
Like 28 days later, zombies.
Yeah, these guys look more like they are ghoulish
in appearance. They're long-formed, clawed hands that almost seem like overgrown, like overstretched limbs. Their mouths are bloody, but also rotten, like rotten flesh and like decaying material is in their mouths.
Look how I feel.
And they rush out, and one is going to attack, two are going to attack Sentry, one is going to attack Ayla, and one is going to attack Nova. After they attack, you can do your readied action. Because it matters the order, because they might do something in the meantime. So, Sentry, the first one attempts to bite you. 21 to hit.
Okay, here we go.
I mean, you don't need to roll. Your AC
Is 18.
So 21 will hit you. You're going to take 7 points of damage. And... Oh no, sorry, hang on. Change that.
It will
Slightly less. I rolled the wrong thing.
kill. Please don't die.
No.
That's going to be 7 points of slashing damage, which is reduced by 1 because of your shield, so you take 6. But I need you to make a Constitution saving throw, please.
Crikey, okie dokie.
Little box on the left.
Which one's that?
That one's
It's going to miss a
Oh, this
Gala.
one. Oh, con. Okay, cool. 4.
4.
Oh no!
So as this creature hits you, Sentry, you feel the wooden parts of your body lock up, and you are currently paralyzed. Nova, does a 14 hit you?
Nope.
Okay, so this creature goes to swing at you, but Tiangong kind of pulls itself into its way, almost against your will reflectively, and it blocks it. You may now get to attack with Green Flame Blade.
So it's a melee attack on the creature.
With Tiangong, yep, so you make a normal melee attack.
Green flame blade.
18,
Green Blade Blade.
Shut up. 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23 to hit.
That hits.
5 damage.
5 damage.
And then to the
You get to do your ability
nearest
mod
one.
to the nearest one, yep.
Well, it says, so the cantrip says...
It's your ability mod, so it'll be your
spell
charisma.
casting ability modifier, which
Yep.
I believe is 3. Is
Okay,
that right?
what's your charisma mod?
Yes.
Yeah, 3.
3. Okay, so as you launch out, Tiangong glows with a green energy, and as it strikes the first one, this kind of pulse echoes and it leaps over to the next one and engulfs it in this green flame. The creature like howls and groans, but it just seems to enrage it further. And you can see that Sentry is now locked up, unable to move.
Does it help light stuff up at all, or...?
Not really, it doesn't last long enough.
Okay.
Ayla will rage.
Nice.
You watch as the storm begins to crackle up and down her arms as she brings her hammer down in a two-handed blow. However, this creature nimbly just leaps to the side as her hammer smashes down into the ground.
Damn.
As a bonus action, she will attempt to use her storm aura to zap a nearest one, of which I believe it will pass the save, which means it takes half damage for 1.
Cool.
As this little kind of blast of lightning just zaps into her next to her. That's Ayla done. Quill.
I guess I can see all of them, can't I?
Now there is still, you could try and manually climb down the rest of this 100 feet.
I mean,
But that is
how
quite
far would
high.
I get in like one turn? Not
That
very
you can
far.
move 30 feet when climbing. If
so
if all you do is climb.
It will take like 4 turns just to get down, or 3 and a bit.
Just fall.
But everything else I've got is, I've only got 2 things that are within the range. So I'm going to do that.
Okay.
The one at the back, the furthest back, that I guess he didn't attack anything.
That one?
2 attack sentry.
This
So
one attacked
So
me.
3 have attacked. There's
all
one-
4 have attacked.
Oh, all 4 have attacked. Well, the one furthest away from the group,
Oh no, 1 didn't attack, you're right, yeah.
yeah, the one furthest away from the group that hasn't attacked, I'm going to cast at level 2, Guiding Bolt.
Okay.
So it has a +5 to hit. 16?
16 hits.
Oh, that's 5d6.
Oh, Christ. Drop it.
6 +5.
11.
11, 14, 15, 18 Joe DiMaggio's.
18. So you watch as this brilliant ball of light, actually you describe it. What does it look like, Tom?
It's a brilliant ball of light, Mark.
A brilliant ball of light streaks out from above you, slamming into the rear creature. The light invades its chest and begins to spill outwards. Parts of its body kind of burst into beams of light, but it's still barely standing, holding itself together as it howls and shrieks as though being burned.
I've got more of those!
I don't think they care.
I'm saying that to you guys.
Sentry, At the end of your turn, you may make another Constitution saving throw,
Cool.
but it is at the end of your turn.
Okie dokie.
So it's a D20 plus your con save, which
I
should
got
be
a
at the top.
20 initiative.
Yeah, Sentry's lost.
I haven't got it.
Sentry's
He
at
hasn't
6.
done- he hasn't
I'm
gone
down
yet.
again.
I got
Yeah, you did. You cast Blade Ward on yourself.
That was before the.
Nope.
Oh yeah,
that's
you're right.
literally-
You're right. You're right. Ignore me.
Okie dokie.
So D20 plus your con save, which
Yeah,
should be
plus 2, 20.
20.
Unnatural 20.
Yep. So you kind of sensing that these creatures are surrounding you, manage to shake off this paralysis, whatever it is that's kind of had its hold on you, and you break free. But it's at the end of your turn, unfortunately. Nova.
Can I cast both Hexblade Curse as a bonus action and Green Flame Blade?
Yes, because Green Flame Blade is a cantrip.
Yeah, cantrip action. Yeah.
So you can only, if you cast a spell as a bonus action, you can only cast cantrips that turn.
Okay. In which case, the one that's attacking that I attacked before,
Mm-hmm.
can I attack again? And I want to cast Hexblade Curse.
Before you attack.
Yep.
Yep. So you cast Hexblade Curse, which just goes off.
Yep. And
then you Green
another
Flame Blade.
Green Flame.
Okay.
That.
So you make an attack.
Gleam, blame, flayed.
Oh, it's an 8.
That's not enough. This time the creature ducks under it, expecting your attack from the other side. Just ducks under it completely.
But he
Lucius.
does have Hexblade Curse.
He does have Hexblade Curse, which only really benefits you, I think. I don't think anybody else
Nope.
gets it.
I thought everyone else gets 1920s crits.
Don't think so.
Ice knife at the back, dude.
Nice eye.
Okay.
Nice ball.
What do I make? Is
So
it attack
that
roll?
is me doing a spell.
Oh, that's right. And if it hit, and then afterwards you make a reflex save. A dex save.
9.
Sails past, but then it
damage.
splashes out, doesn't it?
So dexterity saving throw.
Okay, and that's all creatures within 5 feet, right?
Yes.
So that's going to be Sentry as well. So Sentry, can you
5
make?
feet of him.
Yeah, 5 feet of him. He's like there, so it's
Oh,
like
you
around
moved.
there. No, it was like there. It's like there. So it's basically going to be, 2 of them, well, 3 of them, and then Sentry. Make a Dexterity saving throw, please.
3.
Great. 0, 1.
2 of them pass. The one right in front of Sentry fails, so Sentry and that one fail, so they take the full damage.
Thankfully, it's 2 1s, so it's 2 points of cold damage.
That's fine.
My Dichromancy, however,
Yep.
needs a second ice.
Please read your abilities. Please. Please. I gave you like a custom thing with a sheet that explains it all. You do your level plus ability modifier to another creature within 60 feet.
Yeah.
Okay, so how much damage is that and which one?
So
Don't just go, yeah. There's a podcast audience to consider as well, Chris Trott.
3 plus my wisdom, which is 1.
Charisma, because you're a sorcerer.
6. I've been awake since 6 a.m. Give it a break. 6.
6 to
This dude,
that one. Okay.
which is the one closest to Sentry for the podcast listeners out there.
One closest to Sentry. Perfect. So that one does seem to, as you launch the knife, explode into cold damage. You filter away some of the blue light of Nova's uniform and throw it as another kind of blast of ice towards this this ghoulish creature as it covers its skin in frost. It shrieks, but again, these things don't seem to recognize pain in the same way. Like, it doesn't stop them or make them halter in any way. They seem almost ravenously hungry, trying to bite and claw at your flesh.
Cute.
They are going to attack. So one of them is just going to step up, like
to them?
One of them is going to kind of move up
I
to
would say
there.
step to me, but I'm not
So
sure
basically,
way.
one of them is going to attack each of you now. So one against Sentry, one against Lucius, one against Ayla, and one against Nova. The one attacking Lucius, Sentry, you could use your reaction to use your protection
Yep.
and give him disadvantage on his attack roll. So I'll do that one
Go for
first.
that.
So he has disadvantage. So 9 plus 4, 13. Does it hit Lucius?
Yes, it does.
Oh, I'm afraid that's still a hit. Can you make a Constitution saving throw for me, please, Lucius? And take 10 points of damage.
Crikey.
16.
16. So you are not paralyzed, but you take 10 points of damage as these claws rake across you. You have to dodge and twist. You can feel your muscles being pulled and as you twist out of the way. One against Sentry. That's a 6. So it just clangs against your shield, fails to hit you.
Cool.
Nova. That's a natural 20, I'm afraid, as these claws rake against you.
Nova.
So that's going to be actually not that much. I rolled really badly. 6. That's going to be 8 points of damage and a Constitution saving throw, please. And then the one against Ayla misses.
What's the Constitution for? The paralyzed?
Yes.
I mean, I kind of want to play fair, Mark.
What?
That's an injury table.
Oh, it is. Thank you. So what did you get on that?
7.
7. So you are paralyzed. Can you make another Constitution saving throw for me, please?
Thanks, dickhead.
Natural 20. You know what, Tom? You know what? You can have inspiration for being such a good boy and being to the rules.
Are we actually playing inspiration?
I'm going to give you it for being a good boy.
Like, I hate
I do hate inspiration. I don't think it's a very good mechanic for in-game roleplay, but for when a player is being fair to the rules and bringing up things that would hamper his party, you can have inspiration.
Is that the first inspiration you've ever given?
No, I gave one to Kim once.
Joined an elite inspiration club.
Good.
No.
And not just bringing up negative
proud of
traits.
But it's not negative tricks. It's reminding me of genuine rules to the
Yeah.
game,
I've got inspiration.
to his own detriment.
Would you like to use it to break us out of paralyzation?
I'm going to use it to jump down.
So you are
Survive.
paralyzed, but you're not injured. So after them, it goes to Ayla, who will attempt to smash one again. This time she does hit
Nice.
for a
damn
whopping
I damn it.
for 14 points of damage. No, 13 points of damage, I think.
Not bad.
No, 14 points of damage.
Lovely.
And that would be to the one in front of her. Which almost decimates one. You see her bring the hammer down, crushes part of its leg, and then a bolt of lightning will launch out. It passes again, but it takes another point of damage. She does not get very lucky with those. As it, like, the lightning trails up the hammer into the creature's body, and you can see it begin to smoke and fume desperately on its last legs. Quill.
Okay, so I've just been watching this from above. The one that I hit with Guiding Light,
Yes.
has he been hit again, I suppose?
No, he has not.
Okay, so my thinking is I want to Magic Missile at level 2. And that will give me
Four bolts.
darts
Yeah.
to shoot.
Yes.
Of the other ones, who has also taken damage?
The one that Ayla just hit looks very weakened as well.
Okay.
And then the other one is the one fighting Nova.
Okay, could I do 1 to the one I hit, 1 to the one Ayla hit, and then 2 to one that's
Yes.
untouched?
Yes, you could.
In that case, that's
So let's do the one to the one that you hit first. So 1d4 plus 1.
5.
Okay. Let's do the one against the one Ayla just hit.
5.
Nice.
Let's do the 2 against
Keep it up.
the one fighting Nova.
4 and 3.
7. Okay, so you watch as Quill up on this perch, like a true bird. What does the magic missile look like?
So it's swing the wing and the feathers fly out and then just plummet down into the...
The feathers take on like a purple hue as they come flying down. The ones that hit the ones that were fighting Ayla and the one that you had injured last time, the feathers just pierce straight down, piercing their heads, and you watch as their brains explode outwards from their skulls.
Nice!
The
Double
one
kill.
fighting Nova is badly wounded. It pierces through its shoulder, like nearly taking its arm off, but it's still like.
Wow. Cool.
Awesome.
Sentry.
Hello. I would like to cast Ensnaring Strike for 1 bonus action.
Okay, so you cast Ensnaring Strike on your axe,
Yar.
and then you want to bring it down on the one
on the
fighting
one
you.
attacking me. Yes,
Fantastic.
please.
So it's an attack roll, so d20 plus your attack bonus.
Which is the
That's the damage roll.
damage roll.
It's the first number.
Actions at the top.
So it should say attack bonus.
Plus 5.
Plus 5.
So d20 plus 5.
Yep. 8, 9, 10, 12.
12 is just enough to hit this thing, actually. So the axe just about connects. Now, what does Ensnaring Strike actually do?
Ensnaring Strike. So next time you hit a creature with a weapon attack before the spell ends, a writhing mass of thorny vines, or in this case, crazy purple electronic energy, appears at the point of impact, and the target must succeed in the strength saving throw or be restrained by the magical vines until the spell ends.
Okay.
Okay. And what is your? Do you know what your spell save DC is? It should say at the top of your spells.
DC.
12.
Yeah, 12.
Help point it out so Rihanna knows
Yeah,
for the
it's that
future
one
as well. So 12. Unfortunately, like as the purple energy begins to wrap around it, it kind of flexes and the binds break off, but you still do damage as normal. So what does your battle axe damage do?
Battle axe damage is
Actions again.
action
And that's
1d8 plus 3.
So now you roll that, and that's the damage.
Which is
The diamond.
this one. 7.
7 points. So the axe cuts in. The energy doesn't quite grip onto it, but the axe still carves through this thing's undead flesh, and you watch as part guts begin to spill out, but it still just kind of is and snarling away, desperate to try and feed on something. It looks like.
Cool.
Nova, at the end of your turn, you can make a saving throw, Constitution saving throw, against Le Paralyse.
13.
13. You pass, but it's at the end of your turn, unfortunately. Lucius.
I will throw a firebolt just over Sentry. Ish.
Okay. Firebolt. Give me an attack roll.
Kirby.
You really need to learn how to watch basketball.
Well, I made the reference.
Yeah, that's going to hit.
That's the reference from
So
Cooking as
D10.
well.
Oh.
You guys really need to watch some basketball.
No.
So, in fact, actually, no, that would bring it to 21. That's 1 HP off. You watch as Lucius leans over the sentry, points his finger. This blast of fire echoes out as it engulfs the creature. The creature has just enough life to remain, still a form to attack with.
Is it on fire?
It is badly, yeah. It looks pretty
Crispy.
in
I really
bad
thought
shape.
that would do it.
It nearly did. It nearly did. And then finally, after that, we go to their go. So they're going to mount one last desperate attack against Nova and Sentry. So Sentry, that is only a 12 to hit you against your AC,
18.
which is a miss. Nova, that is a 13.
Miss.
So again, sensing the creature's movements, you bash Tiangong to the side, parrying its blows, sending it sprawling.
You don't even see it. You just hold a shield up and it's big enough.
Ayla will go for the one next to Nova.
Can't see me.
I believe this one has 3 hit points. You watch as Ayla, I just rolled max damage on Ayla, that's 14 damage to a thing that had 3 HP. She winds it up, waits for it to rear back, and then the hammer comes in, rips the head clean free of its shoulders, and sends the head flying off.
Fantastic.
Regain
As it
5
right
hit
in front
points.
of, and you regain hit points because of your Hexblade Curse.
Love this ability.
And then she will attempt to blast the one across the Sentry with lightning. It passes again for another 1 point of damage, which is enough to kill it.
Just enough.
So she
Just
hits it
enough.
and just a little bit of static flies out.
Yeah, basically, which is enough. The creature's already on fire.
I like to think it just ignites him.
Yeah, it just kind of annihilates it and sends its flaming body clattering to the ground as these creatures are defeated.
Well, that was the first fight.
Oh yeah.
That's the entrance. Jeez.
Welcome to the chasm. You got your stay.
I mean, I've only spent both my level 2 spell slots.
Yeah. So these creatures lie before you dead, and they stink of horrid rotten meat, decay. You can see that there's fungus and stone growth all over their limbs. These long claws, and they look vaguely dwarven in shape.
Okay.
Well, these will be the previous residents.
Sorry?
Quill! Quill, you're alive!
I'm okay.
I wonder where those feathers came from.
That was me. Thank you.
Are you okay?
I'm fine. Is everything okay down there?
We're all alive.
Oh, that's good.
Do you want to come down?
They're dead now.
Sure.
Well, more dead.
I'll climb down then. Manually.
Athletics check with disadvantage, please.
Sentry, get ready.
Oh, could I guidance myself?
You can guidance
Hold
yourself.
my hands out.
Ooh, 21 plus my athletics.
Disadvantage, so roll again, take the lowest.
What is it?
Arms out, ready.
Trying to climb
7.
trying to climb with one hand is really hard. So, I need you to make a dexterity saving throw.
Could I touch myself as I'm falling, another guidance? No?
You probably don't
Okay.
have time.
You've got 6 seconds.
Dexterity.
Saving throw.
14.
14.
So, I will have you take half of this damage. You
On
are
100 feet
falling
worth.
100 feet. That is equal to 10d6.
Can we
How
do
much?
anything?
Did you have
Can
inspiration?
we try and catch him?
I do have
I will
inspiration.
allow.
Let's-
You've already rolled though. You need to say you're using it. You need
I'm never going to remember that. That's going to sit there for so long.
Well, you're going to have to try and remember it. What I will say is one of you can attempt to catch them if you want, which might help with the damage. You want to do that?
I will have a go.
So I think that would be an athletics check from you for the
Okay.
sentry.
Well, that's +3.
Good luck.
Oh, it's a natural one.
Oh, Jesus.
That's what we wanted. Sentry just puts hands up like blades.
You with my axe.
Fatality.
I said half of it. You take 16 points of damage.
No, it's exactly lethal.
Well, you see him.
Quill, you okay?
Climbing down. You see him beginning to climb down with one little wing hand, his other like bundled up next to him as he's climbing his way down using his feet, and then suddenly the rock he's holding onto gives way. His feet scrabble. He tries to grab onto it, but he falls away from the wall. Sentry, you try and catch him, but you just overestimate where it is, and he slams down. Like you kind of get one hand on him, but then he slips out. He hits the ground. There is a sound of that's going to be a con saving throw,
Yeah, well.
please. And this is now DC. It's half damage, I think, normally.
They just roll for it. So DC 8.
No, it'll be DC 10 as an absolute minimum.
Natural 20.
Is equal to half the damage.
He raises up. I'm
So-
fine.
There is a moment where like you fear something might break as his body just slams into this stony ground.
God.
But nothing seems to be broken. However, he is unconscious. So what do you immediately do, the three of you, because we're gonna have to technically do it in initiative.
I'm going to have to lay on hands, I think.
So you're gonna lay on hands him because that
Yeah.
will basically prevent anybody else from needing to do anything.
Yes, I will lay on hands.
Yeah.
Okay. How much would you like to lay on hands him for?
I have 10 left, so I can give you...
We've long rested, so you should have 15
Oh,
now.
that's fantastic. Okay, that's very good. Then I shall give you... I'll give you 10.
10, so is that 10 HP?
You just go straight to 10 HP.
10 HP for you.
Okay, success, success, success.
And you are stabilized.
Oh,
And you are conscious. You watch as Sentry leans down, places a hand over his chest. This purple energy kind of almost like pulses into Quill, and then your eyes open.
ow.
Hi,
It was
Quill.
a graceful landing. You were flawless.
Really was
Soaring.
Soaring, I flew?
No, you fell like a rock. I am amazed you didn't break any bones.
I'm in so much pain. I just had a good idea. You can levitate. You could have just carried me down.
I can't carry. Look at my arms. I have weedy scientist arms. I told you I'm not a geologist, damn it.
What's geology got to do with...
Rocks! Rocks! Hitting into rocks!
I know a lot about them now.
I said I wasn't strong! I told you!
It would have been better than letting a one-armed Aarakocra climb down a cliff.
Maybe you could have waited. I could have...
Could have waited.
We could have passed you the rope, Quill.
In fact, you have the harness.
I could have climbed up to you, Quill. You're too eager.
There's a lot of things we could have done. Well, thank you, Sentry. I think we're now even. Ow.
Well, we're all learning valuable lessons on our first adventure together into Big Chasm.
Well, at least I didn't lose this one.
You did very well.
Thank you.
Did you
We're all
see a
very
light?
proud of you.
Did you see a light
Did I see a light?
at the end of the tunnel?
Just
I guess it was so
blackness.
quickly.
Yeah.
no,
You were knocked unconscious. You weren't dead.
Yeah.
I mean at the end of the tunnel. Not in this chasm.
I mean, I was looking up for most of it, and there's a light up there.
So,
Count.
now that you're all down here, after Quill regains himself, and I'm guessing stands up,
Yeah.
using the lantern oil, you can look around. There are 3 buildings that look intact. One appears to be a squat. They're all very squat, very short. Anybody who's over about 5.5 feet will probably have to either kind of duck their head in or completely kind of crouch down to get into these buildings. They're all made from stone, but some of them have strange metal supports, almost like metal kind of clasps to the side of their stone foundations, but also they have like these metal poles that almost seem to hold up parts of the buildings as well. There are strange metal poles in what you imagine might have once been a street, kind of broken flagstone kind of indicates some sort of pathway or paving, and these big metal
long tubes end in these kind of glass spheres in which there appears to be some sort of spherical crystal, but does seem defunct now. There are 3 buildings. One is squat with a sort of chimney that looks very odd. One appears to be an elongated building, which stretches on, it's that furthest one with the little roof, yeah.
Okay.
That seems to stretch on quite far and has one side of it kind of torn open, like the stone has all been pulled out, and there is a terrible smell emanating from it. And then the last one looks very similar to the squat building with a chimney, but this one has like a very faint sign swinging just above its doorway.
Swinging.
Yeah, well, not swinging, but like a standing sign, like a free sign. But that is pretty much where we're going to have to wrap it up because it's 8 o'clock.
3 options.
So we're going to give you those three buildings that you can explore.
Next time.
We're going to read some donations. Chris Chalk, could you do me a favor and move that camera out of the way?
I can.
Thank you.
Oh, that was close.
Session.
I can't believe it was exactly enough to bring me down.
So you get knocked down
I get up.
before you get up again.
I only took damage from the fall.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Brilliant. Pure Quill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get used to falling.
The only bird that can fall.
Do it.
With style.
Lots of natural 20s on injury rolls. Sivaraka. Sadly, I can't watch more than an hour live today, but I hope you all do well. Have some lucky coins for me. Each one has the number 20 scrawled with my blood on it because love.
I think
wow.
we used 2 of
Well,
them.
we definitely, I used one of those.
Yeah. Oliver Envey donated with no message. Thank you very much. They friend. Dancing on Fire also donated. Thank you so much. I don't really have anything to say this week, so hi guys.
Hello.
Thank you very much. Hi. La Forecast donated. Thank you for everything. I just wanted to stop in and give a small first-time donation to say how amazing you all are doing with the campaign and how enjoyable it is to watch. I'm still catching up, but the Lightfall campaign was spectacular. Thanks, La. Thank you very much. And then Zavith donated, I must fart, but I have no butt. With a hundo.
A hundo.
A hundo to say, I must fart, but I have no butt. What a life situation.
Horrible
for you.
conundrum.
I
There's
have
like
no
the horror
butt,
story,
yet I
I
must
have no
scream.
mouth but I must scream. There's a short horror story about I have no mouth but I
That
must
one
scream.
sounds
It's a
way better.
really good horror
Yeah.
story.
But then that one
that's
is,
equally
that's
torturous.
more terrifying.
He has
It's
no
about
butt.
an AI that basically controls humans and tortures them.
And now I throw it over to Rihanna.
Hello.
It's great. Read it.
Nightjar's donated. Thank you very much, Nightjar.
Thank you.
And Hanny Becky's also donated. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Much appreciated. Spudweight has donated and said, finally managed to get caught up. The ending to campaign 1 was amazing. BT dubs, thank you. Unfortunately, my internet is on the fritz, so I'll just have to watch the rest when it comes out on YouTube. Keep being awesome and don't let the Goon Squad kill you. Hey.
Goon Squad.
KB Man's donated and said, hi rollers, today's my first Sunday off in a while, so I was hoping to catch you guys live. Unfortunately, a power outage knocked out my alarm clock and I overslept a bit. VOD Squad for me, have some of my Las Vegas gambling money and stay
The best kind.
Well,
That
Thank you
sweet
very
Vegas
much.
money.
Free money.
Congratulations on that
Yeah,
win
nice.
as well.
Pretty good. And Dabbers has donated and said, my dono got cut off last week, but wanted to say that it's always a treat to listen to your range of voices, Mark. There we go.
Oh, why, thank you so much. I'm Lucius.
Tom, I'll swing this one over to you.
Yes, hello.
Serpent Frog.
Like James.
I love how the party vaguely resembles the Nightwings from the game Pyre.
Never played it.
No, I'll have a look.
Never played.
Pyre,
Wonderful
Nightwings from
coincidence.
Pyre. That's what we look like apparently. Pritch. After half a year catching up and a few months plagued by bad Wi-Fi, it's so good to be finally be watching High Rollers live. Thanks for motivating me to get my arse in gear and start playing again. Just picked up Xanathar's Guide and loving all the new subclasses. I really like Xanathar's Guide as well.
Got some good stuff.
Very cool. Last Radish. Hey y'all! Quick question for Mark and or Trot. Have either of you ever seen a DM's plans absolutely torpedoed by PCs, i.e. selling the MacGuffin artifact to an extra planar merchant? And how do you salvage something like that?
Trot's got an example.
Oh, yeah.
But for me, it was not really. I don't tend to build stories in that way where it's like they have to do X, Y, or Z. I try and leave it as open as possible to prevent that from being a problem. But generally, just logically follow it. If they sell the MacGuffin, they sell the MacGuffin. You just, you know, the bad guy comes in, he starts taking over towns, nothing can stop him. The PCs then have to go back and try and track that item. Maybe it's been sold to somebody else. And you just follow it through because then it feels organic and natural. Trot, what about you? Have you had
I think
situations?
sufficiently answered the question. Next.
About that thing that you ran with the
Well,
with
Curse of
Strahd.
Strahd with a really cool ending in the whole fucking castle, but they killed him just out in the blue in a field. Next question.
Metamanu, thank you for your donation with Howdy, partner. And
Howdy.
Taffling, thank you all for getting me incredibly excited about D&D and keeping me entertained between sessions. Your show is amazing, and you are all amazing, and I am glad to finally watch this live. Thank you very much, Taffling.
Thank you.
Swing over to
Kim,
Azoth has donated.
No.
Hey there, Heart.
Hiyoshi at the top.
Yoshi213 has donated. Dang it, failed to wake up in time for the stream because too much alcohol yesterday. Joining the VOD squad this week. Hope
Chris
y'all
knows
have a
that
wonderful
feeling.
weekend and
Me.
hope to see you live next time.
Some drinkies.
No.
Oh.
Just woke up at 6 a.m.
Azar has donated. Hey there, High Rollers. I hope you're having a good day. I finally caught up again.
Yay.
I'm loving the group thus far. Ayla reminds me of my Goliath Ninja Monk Spore Druid. In that
Unusual
they are-
combo.
in that they are unusual and scary, but kind of treated well.
Goliath Ninja Monk Spore Druid. I've never heard 5 words just so beautiful.
It's almost like 5-word random generator, isn't it?
Smithy4017, hi rollers. Loving this stream and have wanted to donate for a while. Say, Mark, are you going to make a LARP video for Empire 2 and 3? Also, are you going to start streaming again? Love you all. Keep up the great work.
I've been streaming for months.
Yeah, you
I just changed my Twitch name back to Sherlock_Humes. But yeah, you should still get notifications the same if you were following my previous Twitch channel. But yeah, I've been streaming for a while now, bud. As for LARP videos, I don't know. Like, I think we've just been enjoying going recently, haven't we? Like, there's some fun stuff to talk about, but
Up to you, man.
I don't know. Yeah, like maybe. It's always good, but they're so close to each other. It's hard to squeeze the videos in as well. Like trying to get them
Maybe after we fall.
filmed
Maybe
and
a
stuff.
mega
We've
one.
all been busy. Yeah.
Do a big catch up.
Yeah, it could be a
So I've
big
got
catch
notes for all of them.
Yeah. this guy
Ace
knows.
of Thorns has donated. Look out below! Also hugs.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Trout.
Nautilix1 donated. Oh no, there's a very young injured burb on a high ledge with only one wing. Does Aerois have a fire department that can help?
No.
Not down here anyway.
Daft Dave 41. Thank you for your donations. Very kind. Nigel donated again. Yay, you all survived, especially Quill. The episode 6, the death curse. Huzzah!
Yeah.
Juto!
Came close. And the final one, Zephyr1 donated. Here's some high damage to the baddies in the next session.
Nice.
So good.
Thank you very much.
Rhiannon, thank you so much for bringing such joy with these amazing catchphrases.
It's a pleasure as always.
Yeah, I love it.
it.
Need a new
Jump
emote.
rush.
Oh yeah, we got to do the solution to puzzle. Do that quickly now, and then we'll finish.
Okay, so the solution to our brilliant puzzle the question was, you see a potion and it says, it is untrue that this is not a potion, and you have to decide whether or not it is a potion of poison or invisibility. The correct answer, it is a potion of invisibility.
I'm alive.
Hey, Quilly!
So the explanation
Promise.
is, first, let's consider what the sign says. It's untrue that it's not poison, which is a double negative. This means that the sign is implying that the flask does contain poison. However, you also know that the sign is false, from what the elf dude told you before. That is, the statement, the flask does contain poison, is false. Therefore, it does not contain poison and must be the invisibility potion instead. What happens here is a rare triple negative. If something
Not that
is...
rare, Mark did it today.
Yeah.
That's because I was playing Salem.
That ain't no nothing trouble.
That ain't no nothing trouble.
Yeah. If something is not true, then 2 of the nots cancel each other out. But if the third not remains, not true equals not true. And if you want more information, look on brilliant.org and search for false information. There you go.
You can learn real good. Go brilliant.org. Real nice.
I went on that
Lovely,
site. It's nicely
thank you.
made.
People from Savona, they love it. We'll see you all next week, where hopefully we'll have a full party next week. I think we're all here.
Yeah.
We'll see you then, friends. Don't forget a bunch of other stuff going on this week. Check it out. There's loads of cool stuff. I was trying to think of some stuff to plug.
Linking to
Podcast, YouTube
Podcast,
VODs.
YouTube VODs, Fatherona, Hat Film streams, Rhiannon Tom streams. We got Kim's wedding at some point as well. That's happening next week. Getting married.
I'm getting married at some point.
Get married to all of us.
Yeah.
My roller's wedding!
We're going to go because we're going to let Sam go. Catch you later, friends.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye. 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 Bye.